Perfect. 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 Perfect.
You see my name, I'm gonna turn around.
What's up, fam? What's going on, man? You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. We have intense entertainment, entertaining, and educating sport talk from your favorite sports family. Now, big fam, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us in the live stream today. Gary, what's happening, baby? Who that to you, Gary? Who that to you? All my family in the building. Jerome, what's happening, family? Who that to you? Donald, let's go, Donald says. Who that to you, Donald, my man? And Ricky Williams, who that from Las Vegas? That's right, baby, way out from UNLV. But listen, let me tell you something, family. I'd like to thank everybody that's chiming in. Who that, Robert? Who that, baby? Welcome to the live stream today. Thank you, family. Was we supposed to do one yesterday? I think it was Friday. It's kind of difficult to do shows on Friday because I move around a lot that day. But to be quite honest with you, I wanted to do one Thursday, but I had some computer issues. But I said, you know what? I think the family would appreciate if we came with a live stream to kind of cover some of the things that are happening. So I'd like to welcome all of the family to the Sports Coma live stream. Of course, it's going down in a major capacity. Who that's all the family in the building. And I want to bring it in. We got a special studio guest in the building, Mr. Black Suede. How you doing, sir?
Whoa! What's happening? We all chill. What's going on? Who that family? I'm finally on camera. You understand what I'm saying? We here, we live.
Sway is in the building, man. He was gracious enough to pay us a visit here on the Sports Coma, man. And of course, it's always laughs and all kind of stuff with Swade's in the building,
Something like
man.
that.
So we like treat for the family to say what's happening to Black Swade, one of the guys. But also they got more people chiming in the live streams. We got LBR Productions, #1, Who Dat from Connecticut. Wow. Welcome, family. Welcome. Who Dat to you? Neville Lewis, who that, baby? Who that to you? And, man, let me tell you something. It's all good. Dada's in the building. Who that, Dada? What's up, baby? He says, Big Q, I ordered another shirt a few days ago. Thank you, Dada. Appreciate your family. Got a new one coming out, too, Dada. I said probably on Monday we got a new shirt coming out. It's called, I forgot what it's called. It's quite a few of them coming out.
Got a whole lot of them.
We got a few of them coming out. We got one coming out Monday and another one coming out, I think, somewhere between Wednesday and Friday. But I think it's Saints Black and Gold Royalty. That's the name of it. It's called Black and Gold Royalty. I think y'all like that one there. Sean, who that, baby? Who that, Sean? Who that? Jerome said, why you didn't put the LSU wide receiver on injury reserve? I don't know. We're going to talk about a lot of that, Jerome, because if y'all didn't know, man, they just released Chris Banjo. So that might be some information to the family. Chris Banjo has been cut.
They didn't want to string him along.
He is out of here. They cut Chris Banjo. And remember, man, we talked about that. Is the fact that, Banjo was a guy that the Saints really liked, but for whatever reason, and I know what the reason is, he couldn't play on the defense. He was a liability. He was a big time liability. But it's really interesting, man, that we could do it. Hey, Cheryl, who that, baby? Who that?
Oh, no, Cheryl. How
Who
you doing?
that?
Was that Miss Walker?
That's right. Ms. Walker's in the building. Who that to you, Cheryl? Welcome aboard. Yeah, family. Now, let's tell you what, family. This is a whole nother thing, man, that I want to kind of put across to the family. I'd like to thank all the Sports Coma family that signed up for the 20-team fantasy league that we put together. A lot of the great Saints, Black and Gold, and Who Dat, and Sports Coma family were a part of that. Remember, the winner of the fantasy league gets $150 in cash, and
I can sign up.
to relate the spots, we had 19 spots open. Saints Sports Coma fantasy league, 20-spot fantasy league. I know it's a lot of teams, but it's meant to be competitive, man. It's gonna be the top dude come out of there. $150 to the winner of the Sports Coma fantasy league, and $50 to the runner up. So that's
Y'all
still
better get y'all players together. Get them together. Know how to pick your defenses. Got to have everything lined up, because your number one pick's not gonna be there.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Come to the halfway or the second round. Your second pick, they're gonna be gone. So get deep into your rosters.
Yeah, it's big time going down. It's happening now, family. The fantasy league, Sports Coma fantasy league draft takes place tomorrow, Sunday at 12 o'clock. I think
That's
it
right.
is. At noon. Tomorrow at 12. So all the family, I'm still debating on whether or not we should like have it. The Sports live, do the fantasy league live. I'm still contemplating that, family. If y'all like that, let me know. Chime in. Let me know if y'all cool with that, and we'll see about putting something together where we do the fantasy show live on the air, man. A YouTube live streaming. So y'all tell me if y'all cool with that, and we'll roll with it. Family. That's how we operating. Also, like I said, we mentioned the Sports Coma merchandise, like every merch that we got coming out. The Dat Slap shirt has been really popular. The Roger the Chump Commissioner the Chump Missioner shirts have been doing pretty well. A lot of people like the black shirts with the image on. It's pretty good, and a few other shirts have been doing real good. One of my favorite is the Ride I Ride Die shirt. The Ride Sports Coma Ride and Die Saint shirt is one of my favorites. I got it on right now, by the way, representing. And the new one's called Black and Gold Royalty, and it's got a big, nice crown of the Saints with the emblem. It's really nice shirt. It's comes on a white shirt, and you guys will actually love that as well. So a lot of good stuff going on. Plus, coming up next week, Wade, open up Labor Day for the Sports Coma for Dada and all the rest of the family that's ordering shirts that want some more merchandise. And that's not just shirts and all that. It's also coffee cups, towels, keychains, all of that stuff. It's available at our Teespring the Pro Shop on teespring.com. I'll make sure I put a link up there so you guys are to know where it is. And it's a lot of good product there. So to support the show, to help the platform moving forward, support a shirt, a black and gold shirt, whatnot. So we'll be having, when the Pelicans play, we'll also have them Pelican themed shirts as well. So a lot of great stuff. Not to mention, go along with that, 15% off coming up on Monday, Labor Day. We'll have the Sports Coma. It'll be Big Q20, and you'll get 20% off on any purchase from the Teespring Pro Shop. So please go there and visit it and show your boy Big Q and the staff some love. And finally, the last few notes before we delve right into today's show, podcast 420, a live stream number 22, by the way. Thank you very much for y'all support. I also want to say something about the giveaways that's coming up. We got a console giveaway that'll be taking place, will come out Monday. The console giveaway for the next 4 months will be giving out PS4 consoles along with the Madden game. The Madden game will be given away separately.
I'm trying to get one, and I'm his boy. I tried to get one for free. He told me no. That's cold-blooded, huh? No, you can't have that. This for the family. I am family. It's all good though. I get my own, my brother.
I did tell him that. I did tell him that too, family. I said, this is for the family, man. This is for the family. We doing it for the family. But yes, the console giveaway will be in effect, and that'll be happening starting on Monday. We'll release a flyer and all information. So for you to sign up for that is very simple. Don't cost you any money to do, and you can win a console. Or the Madden game coming up. So really good times here at the Sports Coma. Now, before we get it started on
I
yes,
think
sir.
it's time to dye my beard. Looking like Bubba Bexley. Okay, we go ahead.
All right, well, we got Sports Coma show number 421, live stream 22 is underway. Now, what we want to talk about to this show, family, I want to talk about a few topics, and of course the Saints-Jets final preseason game. I want to go over that with the family, being that we didn't officially do a recap show. I had computer problems on Thursday, and Friday I was moving. I was in the process of moving, traveling, so we couldn't do it. So I said, you know what, I'll just do it on Saturday. And we kind of a couple hours late today. We had some computer issues, and also we had to move around a little bit today. So I apologize for that.
Do that.
But we're gonna talk about the Saints and the Jets, recapping in the game. Y'all feeling? I'm gonna hit the family, and see what the family thinking momentarily. Also, I'm gonna play some interviews of Caden Ellis, Cameron Tom, and even Dan Arnold.
He got look like somebody said bye Dan Arnold. Did he get cut?
I don't think Dan Arnold got cut. I mean, recently I've been monitoring it. The last cut that was recent, and really the biggest surprise thus far, is the fact that the Saints are releasing Chris Banjo. So I don't know what if the family knew that one.
You said Jets, it's Dolphins, man.
I'm sorry, the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good look out, Mr. McKenzie. Good looking out.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. You mean Dolphins? Yes, sir. Thank you, Donald. Yeah, but the Saints and the Dolphins, fourth preseason game. That's right, family. And also we got the depth chart. Now today is a special show. We might go a little longer, maybe 3 hours on this one, because I want to go over the depth chart, the official depth chart of things going on, as well. So. And we'll go, and then we'll cover some of the cuts as well. So to get back into the family here and see what the family talk about, we got a few questions. What's up, Evan? I see you there, baby. Who that to you, Evan? I see you, my friend. Hello. Evan. And we got Justin. Who that, Justin? DLP 2600 says Arnold and Banjo was cut, guys. Okay, hey, I knew about Chris Banjo.
Yep, there you go, player.
Yep, Dan Arnold cut. I wonder if we had something to do with that, family.
I think so. We got something to do with a lot. Y'all know we make an impact on the slide. We do that. You know what I'm saying? Just think about things that we talk about, and then it so-called happen. It happens. Sorry, Dan, but we true that. So we keep facts. We stay facts.
Hey, family.
True facts. Who that's?
Like I said, family, these things work right here, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. And you're right, family. Pro Football Focus and among others are mentioning that Dan Arnold did get the cut. The Turk came and seen him and cut him on out the door. Now let's see what some of the family saying that. Let's see who that to you, Robert. I mentioned that, Cheryl. Let's see. Neville said bye to Dan Arnold, your boy. Thank you.
That's your boy.
He said Gary says Crawley made the team
Oh man,
they desperate to keep.
Somebody got to serve the water. Huh?
He ain't doing much else.
Somebody got to serve the water, man.
Hemisphere, what's that? What's good with your hemisphere? He said, how did Crawley make the team?
I don't know. Somebody got to serve the water, bro.
Bro, I tell you what, man. They cut Kevon Webster, and I think Kevon Webster performed better than Ken Crawley. But ultimately,
man, you could have did better than Ken Crawley. And we ain't trained in years.
I think I probably could do better than him. At least I won't get toasted as much as he do.
Right.
Hey, D, who that to you? D, good day, Q, and the Who Dat Nation.
Right,
what's up, D? Welcome to the show, baby. Donald says we need depth at linebacker and outside tackle. What up, Smoke? Smoke MJ504 Nola in his shirts for the big guy. Smoke, we got him your size, baby. That's the great thing about the pro shop, man. We got
3 to 5.
We got some big gift for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? For the big fellas. You know, we have the larger sizes as well. So feel free to get on there and check it out. And we'll have that link for the pro shop put in the description there, brother. Just be looking out for it. It'll be coming in there momentarily. DLP in the building. Jared Slack, what's good, Jared? Welcome to the live stream. Who that to you, baby? Justin Bryce and among others. So D said, Q, who is your quest? Welcome to Down. Okay, who is your quest? Quest? I don't get that one there, D. You're gonna have to give me
Who is
another.
your Donald? Who is
Welcome to you, Donald. She was saying to Down. Okay, I got you, D.
Oh,
Thank
see,
you,
look at that. See, I broke it down for you.
Yeah, you got that, brother. See, Adrian, who that, baby? Adrian's in the building as well. Sean, who that to you, fam? He in the building. He said, Dan Arnold done it to himself. Catch the damn ball. Thank you.
Suicide, Dan.
Thank you there, Sean. Sean in the building there. Robert says, have you hear about pick up tight end or offensive tackle from another team? Nothing yet on that, bro. I just got off the wire checking it out. Like I said, right before the show went live, I did do a scan over and found out about Chris Banjo, and then as we were live streaming, then the news came in behind Dan Arnold. That's why I didn't know about the Dan Arnold thing. So I thank the family for showing that. Hey, Demi, who that, baby? Says, what? Darren Arnold is gone. May God bless him. Yeah,
bless you, boys.
Yeah, may him be blessed with another team and not with us. Justin says, Sly Williams and Ziggy Hood cut 2. Rankins recovery looking good. He'll be back soon. Who that, y'all? Thanks for that information, Justin. Sly Williams and Ziggy, man, I wanted Sly to stick around. Ziggy Hood should have gotten a spot too. That means that Wes Horton more than likely survived as well. There'll be more cuts coming in today, so we should know what the team's looking like. Really tough cuts down there. I really like what Sylvester Williams did, and I like how Ziggy Hood was playing. I think he outplayed Wes Horton, if you ask me. But like I said, man, these are difficult cuts to make no matter how you look at it. DLP said Crawley may be traded there. Has been talked. Several teams looking at PJ Williams and Ken Crawley, P-Rob. So one of these guys could be traded today. So thanks for that information, DLP. Appreciate you with that, my friend. And my question is, who the hell wants Ken Crawley? I mean, seriously, would you take him?
No, his wife probably want him.
I don't want nothing to do with Ken Crawley. I mean, Ken Crawley can't play the cornerback position. At one time he could, then he lost his confidence. He forgot how to cover. And ever since then, he's been a liability no matter how you look at it. Yeah, so, I mean,
he could never get right.
I mean, but P.J. Williams is another dude, man. P.J. is a little bit better than Ken Crawley.
Everybody's a little bit better than Ken Crawley. He's not saying much. Victoria, that Forshey. It's not saying much, man. Like, hey, everybody's better than him. He should have been gone.
Shy Tuttle, that's what Dada's saying. Dada's saying Shy Tuttle possibly could have made the cuts from Tennessee, must have made it. I don't know, but that is big. He looked good in the last preseason game against the Jets. He had a few plays, but still in all, I still like how Ziggy Hood and Sylvester Williams played. I just think you need that veteran presence, there. But, Shy Tuttle, I mean, if he made it, big ups to him. That'll be almost the same kind of story as Taylor Stallworth was last year when the Saints found him and brought him in here from South Carolina, the Gamecocks. So Hemisphere said, I see what's happening when you drop a TD in the NFC Championship game. See you, Dan Arnold. Come on now. Come on, see? Peace, deuces, whatever. You're out of here. And that's one thing I say. I'm not wishing any bad will on anybody.
I am. Bye.
But Dan Arnold, good grief. He played better the last 2 games of the preseason. But I mean, he did
dropped one in the preseason.
He dropped more than one in the preseason. But it's just what it is, man. You know, this is a tough game. But that gives us some insight, though, family, about, you know, what we really looking at. Because if you cut Dan Arnold, if you get rid of Dan Arnold, then you look behind Dan Arnold, who do you have?
You have Josh Hill and you have Jared Cook.
And who else? So Alizé Mack obviously made the team. So Alizé Mack is the man.
Those three, right.
Alizé Mack. And Alizé Mack ain't showed me jack squat this whole preseason. Right. A.J. Derby outperformed him, but Sean Payton must see the upside in them. School, who that, family? Welcome to the live stream. Glenn, who that to you, baby? He says, waiting to see what the Saints' master plan is. Neville says, Butler and number 84 better than Smith. What do you think about that, Big Q? He talking about wide receiver Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphreys. It's better than Traquan Smith.
Thomas.
It's better than Traquan Smith. So, is he better than Traquan Smith? They obviously are playing better. I think. And then, to be honest with you, I'm gonna say this, Neville, that I think both of those guys possibly. Well, I'm gonna do my depth chart coming up real in this show, and in my depth chart, I must say I have both Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphreys making the team. That's my thing. I think the Saints should keep 6 wide receivers. And they say, damn, kid, that's a lot of wide receivers. But some of those guys can really help you because you don't really know what you got in Traquan Smith. And if I was running the team, Traquan Smith wouldn't be on the team. I'm just being honest with you. He didn't show me nothing, and I know he's still young, and they still want to see what he can do. But maybe they see him as an heir apparent to what Ted Ginn Jr. doing. And you can never have too many speedy receivers. I know Cyril Grayson was cut, and we just had. I don't know about Austin Carr. Maybe some of the family could kind of feel in that, but I don't think Austin Carr got cut either. So we're gonna keep looking around and see as the information.
Open up that locker and get that pink slip, baby.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man, as the season gets ready to get started there. But just to answer your question there, Neville, I think that they are exhibiting their big receivers. They're playing with the confidence. It's a confidence thing. Traquan has the speed. He's not a short receiver. Traquan's 6'2". I mean, he's not 6'4" like Emmanuel Butler, or he's not 6'4" like LaJordan Humphreys. But what he is he's a speedster that played with a lot of confidence in college they're yet to transfer, they're yet to come on over here. So when you look at it, the end result of what's going on with those guys are big-time guys playing with confidence, even though Emmanuel Butler comes out of a small college in Northern Arizona, and LaJordan Humphreys come over from Texas. I mean, you got to look at it, man. The reality situation is they're playing more confident, and they feel like, hey, I belong here. I belong in this damn league, and they playing with that confidence. Traquan Smith is not exhibiting that same confidence.
Jacquizz Rodgers gone too, huh?
Yes, he is. He's out the door. Jacquizz dropped a couple of receptions. He looked crappy, and he's out the door. So peace out to his butt too. But that's the answer to that question there. Donald says they probably bring in a tight end. Well, I mean, A.J. Derby got the boot today.
Yep. And
you have to remember that. Also, the only other tight ends on the roster, Garrett Griffin's on IR. Dan Arnold has got the boot. So the only other guys you're looking at is the top two, Jared Cook, Hill, and Mack. That's your 3 guys. You know, I don't think they're going to bring in anybody.
Cook, Hill, Mack.
Cook, Hill, and Mack are your tight ends. So 3 tight ends, and the Saints going to roll with it. They don't want to lose Cook in the practice squad. That's obviously what it is. Let's see. Scoop says my boy Sammy Cobbs didn't make it. Nope, Sammy Cobb was one of the first ones that got the cut. So with Cyril Grayson.
Sammy Cobb, that's like old running back from the Dolphins in the 80s.
Sammy Cobbs Jr. got took out of here. Donald says LaJordan is a gamer. LaJordan looked good in the game. That's what I'm saying. When you get an opportunity to get those big wide receivers, and they have some speed, Emmanuel Butler 6'4", LaJordan Humphreys 6'4", those guys playing with confidence. And Sean Payton loves those big wide receivers, and he might keep both of those. He definitely is keeping them. Both of them. Dada said, I knew Banjo wasn't going to make it. We talked about it a few weeks ago. I believe he will still sign some players from another team cut, though. It's a possibility. Sean's going to be looking all the way around. They're going to look to improve this team, no doubt. Sean D says Butler has more upside than Smith. DLP says Saints like Stallworth. I'm guessing Tuttle a lot, so Sylvester and Hood wasn't going to make it. Also, tight end Dwayne Allen has been cut. Could be available as a sideline veteran that can block and clutch catches. You know what, DLP, that's a good thing. I don't know if he'll settle for – if you sign Dwayne Allen, that dude's really good. I mean, you could basically put him on the team, and it'll be an issue with – he could battle – he could battle Josh Hill out of here for that second spot.
You think so?
Oh yeah, the Dwayne Evans is a really good tight end, man. I thought when he was a free agent, the Saints should have picked him up a few seasons ago when he hit the free agency.
Nah, they went and got your boy.
Yeah, that's the wrong dude. They got the wrong guy.
What's his name again?
Kobe Fleener. They got the wrong dude. But anyway, anything's possible, man. We'll see. Roscoe, what's happening, Roscoe? Who that, baby?
Train.
He said, "Sup, Q? Who that fam? It's been a minute since we turned on. What I miss? You not missing too much, baby. We in the family talking it up about some of the latest moves into today's podcast. We're gonna recap the Jets and Saints and Jets match because we didn't get an opportunity to do that. We also gonna play a little
Dolphins.
What is up with me?
You know what they look? They're in the same division.
That's what it is. Same color green. What is going on, family?
Same color green.
What's going on? Why I keep saying the Jets and the Saints? What's going on? How you pretend like the Dolphins game didn't even happen? Maybe that's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it must be. That's what it's got to be. There. I'm sorry. Keep saying the wrong.
We gonna talk about Teddy Poolwater? No. Yeah,
we gonna mention him. Roscoe said, that's what's going on. Roscoe Demi said, why did we keep Crawley? He's a penalty magnet. Yes, he is, Dibby. I can't make heads or tails of it. I think Ken Crawley is one of them Tommy Lee Lewis type of deals. Like, you can't explain it like Tommy Lee. By the way, Tommy Lee got cut today, too. He got cut. He was cut from Detroit. He didn't make the cut with Detroit.
Like a Travaris cadet.
And so did another guy got cut as well. That used to be a Saints player as well. He didn't make the cut either. But anyway, Donald said, thoughts on getting Kinko Alonso since all the linebackers on our. Kinko Alonso is a player. That's a player. If we can get him and bring him in the linebacking core, that would definitely be a major help. But Caden Ellis is a guy that we're looking at as well. But we're gonna go over some of the cut news, family, momentarily and get into it and break it down, man, and give us the latest list of those guys. DLP says Deshaun Kaiser has been cut. Robert says they'll keep Harris because he's an upgrade from Tommy. Neville says, what about that guy in trouble with the law on defense, Big Q? You talking about Carl Granderson. Granderson is still a member of the Saints team. He's put on a special list, and he's still, essentially property of the black and gold. And right. I think the Saints will probably just shelve him for a minute and hold on to him until all that died down. Then they kind of sneak him in there. Because I would have thought they would have cut him. I was surprised by that move, but he's still affiliated with the Saints there, Neville. Robert says, do you think they could stash guys on the injury reserve? They got a few guys that they did stash on it. Colton Jumper's one of them. They put Colton Jumper and
Compton.
Will Compton's also on that list.
Vaughn and Reed.
And what's the other dude? There's another one on
Josh Martin.
And Josh Martin, the guy I was interested in, Josh Martin, the outside linebacker / defensive end prospect who came over from the Jets. I was interested to see what he did. He flashed on film for a little bit, then he got hurt enough for the Saints to say, let's shelve the guy, put him on IR. So there you go. Lionel, who that? Lionel, what's happening, baby? He said shocking survivors and some cuts.
Lionel.
Oh, yeah, it's going down, man. It's going on.
Lionel?
Right here, Lionel Jones.
Man, boy, your name Lionel.
Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel. Lionel coming from the Jeffersons. The man name was Lionel.
He said, what you see?
Huh?
He said, where you see Lionel at?
Right, I'm see Lionel, man. Tell him, Lionel, man, what your name is. Don't let him call you Lionel. I'm ready. Saying.
I'm sorry, family. I'm looking at it. It's kind of small. I do my best, man.
Hey, man.
Lionel. I thought it's Lionel, man.
It's just not the Jeffersons, man.
But it's pronounced the same word. It looks spelled the same word. Lionel. All right. I'm sorry, Lionel, brother. Hey, bro. Hey, Lionel, bro. I'm saying Lionel now. Did you tell me, bro?
Lionel
was I pronouncing
Richard?
it? Hold on now. Was I pronouncing it the correct way when I said Lionel or Lionel? What's the way? What's the first or the second way, brother?
That right?
Let me know. Tell me, because I won't get it right, man. I won't get it right. I want somebody calling me Big P or Big D or whatever.
He right. See?
Okay. All right.
Damn! I'm telling you. Lionel. I couldn't let him continue doing you that, brother.
Lionel, all right. I'm sorry, bro. Who that Lionel? You know, it's all love, baby. It's all love here in the building, baby. I'm sorry. I apologize to you. Let's see what the rest of the family. Travis, who that, baby? Travis is in the building. Ziggy is gone. Yeah, I know, family. Yeah, he's out the door. Verlin. Who that Verlin? He said, Big Q, sorry late, but 336 is in the building. Who that family? Who that
right.
to you family? Dequan. Who that Dequan? Dequan in the building. He said, congrats on successfully cutting Dan Arnold. Hashtag job well done. Let's get a clap here, family. Let's clap it up here. Let's clap it up here. Come on, family. Let's get some digital claps here for the disappearance of Dan Arnold, the cursed one.
Hey, goodbye.
Oh man, let's get that. There you go. Donald says it was Boston Scott got the boot along with Tommy Lee for Detroit. So Boston didn't make it in Philly, and Tommy Lee Lewis didn't make it in Detroit. So there you go, family. A DLP says backup defensive tackle, and OT is what Saints need to pick up. They need depth behind the starters. Absolutely agree. At first, it didn't look that way, that DLP 2600, but ultimately what ended up happening is they looked wretched coming out. You see Marshall Newhouse, he looked terrible. The only other guys that I seen actually did look pretty decent was Cameron Tom, of course, and really, I mean, Michael Ola wasn't all that either. So it became a position of we needed problems. You know, it became a missing. Something happened. Will Clapp he didn't look all that good. Michael Ola was okay. Marshall Newhouse wasn't all that. And Groy looked very subpar, and he ultimately got the boot today as well. So man, it's just. I mean, offensive line. You're right, DLP 2600. We definitely need to look at that, man. Verlin says he's happy in the building, getting the clap. He liked that. Adada says, let's see, D call in Lionel.
Are you about to say it again?
D said, call in Lionel to explain. You proud to pronounce your name. He got it right though. D he told me, he got me straight, baby. It's Lionel. So we're going to keep it like that. Dollar said, I'm glad Dan Arnold gone. See, a lot of family feel that way, man, about Dan Arnold.
Yeah.
But we definitely going to open up the phone lines momentarily so the family can call in and chat it up. Who that Sir Sean P is in the building. Who that to you, sir? He said, what's up with Butler? Is he safe? It appears to be so far right now. Butler is in the building. Butler's not going anywhere, bro. I promise you that much.
Nowhere.
He's not going nowhere right now. And, of course, other news around the league.
Keep telling you, Michael Thomas.
LaShawn McCoy has gotten a boot. He's gone, and Jadeveon Clowney is in Seattle about to sign his franchise extension, which would enable Houston to trade him to Seattle. So, look like Jadeveon Clowney, all the people that wanted Jadeveon Clowney to be a Saint, is not going to be a reality. Look like he's about to sign a tender, and they're going to ship his butt to Seattle. And guess who we got to play coming up in a few weeks? The Seattle Seahawks with that same Clowney on there. And it's just
what a clowny
to have on your team, but what to have one against you. So without further ado, family, let's get right into some of the cuts. And we're going to go over a few of them now. The Saints made 17 roster cuts on Friday and 20 more to come by Saturday's deadline. So we right on par, family, to see who else will get the boot. Now, no huge surprises, although we did, I think one of the you could say a couple of surprises or small surprises was them cutting Dan Arnold and Chris Banjo. I was kind of surprised by the Chris Banjo move. I thought, and your family can chime in on that, I thought Chris Banjo would actually make the cut, being that he was such an excellent player on special teams. But hey, you know, this is a very fierce game. The Saints like Alize Mack, despite the fact that Mack didn't show me a damn thing in the preseason or in pretty much in the camps or none of that, but the Saints looking at his potential, they like him. That's some of it, but the wide receiver Cyril Grayson Jr., Sammy Cobbs Jr. was released. Both juniors, they must don't like juniors. Where two guys who stood out all summer, they got released. Jaquiz Rogers, who dropped a pass or two in
Atlanta.
He's released. Curlin Williams was a long shot. Shane Smith, the fullback that came in, he was also released. Tight end A.J. Derby was a mild surprise for me because I thought Derby did enough to earn a spot on his team. Traven Darrell, I knew Traven wasn't going to make it. He was a long shot. Offensive lineman Ryan Groy was released. Offensive lineman Fayazo Alawolaja was released. Cornerback Kevon Webster, who I really like, you guys know I was champion for Kevon Webster, he was released. Defensive ends Geno Grissom and Corbin Kafusi. We knew Corbin Kafusi was going to be a long shot, but Geno Grissom was a guy that I thought that they liked his size, but he just didn't do enough. And I'm really surprised that the Saints released Darnell Sankey. That was a big one because I thought Darnell Sankey was a guy that could have really helped. He was a stud all through the mini camp into training camp, and he was showing on the film during the preseason games. Really surprised that they cut Darnell Sankey, but obviously he'll be a practice squad guy. Drew Lewis didn't see enough for him to even comment on him. And of course, like we reported a few minutes ago, the Saints placed linebackers Will Compton and Colton Jumper and outside linebacker / defensive end prospect Josh Martin on the injury list, the IR list. So that's some of the current cuts. Now about Chris Banjo, who signed a 3-year deal back in March. They signed him to a 3-year deal in March, and it was guaranteeing him basically $2.7 million. But the Saints said, you know what? Nope. His greatest value came on special teams. But ultimately, all kind of stuff going on here. But ultimately, what ended up occurring was the Saints basically got rid of Chris Banjo. Now the question is, in favor of who? Who is Chris Banjo? Who we dealing with here? Mm-hmm. If you release Chris Banjo, who's left? I mean, what safety? Saquon Hampton is a guy that beat him out. And basically, you know what I'm saying? That replaces Chris Banjo. You know who replaces Chris Banjo? JT Gray.
You think so? You don't think even the mic popper, the pop stopper ain't like that.
I don't think the mic, they don't like nothing going on here.
JT Gray
family's in the building, so we're gonna go over it. But as far of what we have right now for the cut list as well. So I mean, a lot of surprises, family. What y'all think about that? Some of these things that we're seeing occurring right now. What do you guys think about it? Here's some of the comments being named here. From some of the family. Let's see. He said, I hope Dan Arnold leaves the South. Robert said, I hope he leaves the South if he get picked up by another team. DeQuan says, when was the last time Clowney played a full season? Good question. I think it was a couple years ago. I'm not worried about him in Seattle.
Clowney is overrated.
Scoob says he's overrated. Wow. Sir Sean P says Sankey did well.
You may have something to that.
What, with the Clowney?
Yeah, being overrated. I kind of dig that, man.
You might have a case on that. He says, Donald McKenzie, we got to bring in linebackers. That's what he's saying. We need more LBs in here. So let's see what they do. Lionel says Banjo showed up, no adaptability, went on the field. Thank you, sir. Sean P says our tight end group looking shaky, but our slot is bulking up. We looking good. And to be truthful to you, what you're showing is that if you remember going back to last year, the Saints had Ben Watson, Josh Hill, and Dan Arnold, and Garrett Griffin. Now you look at this group this year, you got to at least say this is an upgrade. This group is severely upgraded over what it was last year. It puts Josh Hill in his position where he's supposed to be, which is the backup tight end. He does well that way. And we have a star tight. This is the best tight end we had since Jimmy Graham down here.
Oh.
Come on now. Jared Cook is the best tight end that we have down here. You agree with me?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so that's the thing. So you have a star tight end in Jared Cook. That wakes up everything. Josh Hill can be whoever he will, and you can bring Alizé Mack along as slow and be patient with him. So it's an upgrade. The tight end position is upgraded in my book.
We got all-star tight end. We went to the Super Bowl.
Thank you, sir. So we got an all-star tight end now, so it's going to be excellent. He says, DLP said Clowney is overrated. Dude is hurt every year. Thank you, DLP. Donald says, any word on Craig Robinson's injuries? This is the thing I was talking about, family, a few weeks ago when we talked about this whole deal dealing with the injuries. Well, it wasn't that long, maybe a week ago. when we covered the information about those guys. There was nothing on Craig Robinson and nothing on Alex Anzalone. But yet the Saints have released Darnell Sankey, who could have provided some depth if something would like that occur. Now, you still have Vince Bidger there. So the Saints do have depth behind those guys, but if one of or maybe two of those guys are hurt, why the hell would you release a Sankey if that's the case, if he was dealing with injury? So those guys might not be as hurt as we initially said. Plus, the Saints didn't release it. It wasn't nothing official. There was just merely people saying this and they're reporting side stories, and that's why I didn't really want to get into it, because it wasn't no really truly verifiable source to say what it was one way or the other. So that's why I really didn't want to get into it. But if it was injuries to any of those men, why is Sankey gone? You see what I'm saying? Or it could be possibly that they like him on IR and they see something like one of the family said that they can bring in and replace him. But there is absolutely nothing on Craig Robinson or Alex Anzalone that's official. And until we know official, when everything comes around in the next day or two, then we'll know. But it's nothing official on injuries on either of those men. So that's one thing we'll talk about. He said Robert says Dental will get picked up from another team. Dental.
It must have been misspelling, but
who's Dental, Robert? Let me know what you mean. He mean Banjo. I mean Banjo get picked up from the team. Okay, yeah, you're more than likely because it's special team acumen. DLP said JT Gray. Yep. Revolt. Who that? Revolt. Who that baby? Said Banjo's gone. Daquan says Banjo is only owed for $850, so it's well earned, and maybe he'll be back. Yeah, that was reported. What I just read was reported by ESPN, that Daquan. But he signed that 3-year contract. That's what the value of it. But like in NFL, it stands for not for long, baby. Robert says, Banjo. Smoke says Buffalo released McCoy. Yep. Interesting. Could McCoy? Well, imagine. I'm not gonna even get into it. Y'all remember the last time I got bucked? When I got bucked, when we was looking at Riddick. Remember that when we was looking at
Detroit?
Riddick? Yeah, from Detroit, and I got bucked. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that
Does
no more.
anything we get from Buffalo ever work?
We
We had that one running back. Who was he? He was pretty decent.
Oh, you talking about that backup running back? I can't think.
Help me out, fam. Who was that running back we got from Buffalo?
It wasn't Dwayne Washington.
No, it was not Dwayne. He was a starter, actually. He was a starter.
He played in some games. I can't remember the man's name.
But nothing really works out. Jarrisburg. Nothing really works out.
Did he come from Buffalo or go to Buffalo?
He came from
Buffalo. That's right. That sure did. Yeah.
Stop going to Buffalo.
Yeah, you know what? Revolt says Clowney is soft and injury prone. Damn, Revolt just buried him right there. Dada says Big Q Hampton made Banjo expendable. Plus, they said our special teams coach like Hampton and what he's seen about playing the special teams at Rucker. I heard Brian Baldinger say that. Brian Baldy said that.
CJ Spiller. That was his name.
CJ Spiller.
CJ Spiller.
You got some smart people on there.
I know, man. That's how I know.
Yeah, you got smart people on there. These guys got Saints brains. Let's just put it to you like that. Verlin, he said, DLP says Saquon Hampton and JT Gray played every preseason and are cheaper. Good comment. Good thought there, my friend. Sean says, I meant to back up Wise. Cook is a beast. Yes. Yeah, he is a beast. And you're going to see him come out. He's going to have some of the – he had an 80-catch season, I think, last year, wasn't it? He caught like 80-something passes last year to make the Pro Bowl. If he stays healthy and Drew loves to go to his tight end, expect big things from this guy in the Saints offense. Verlin, Big Q, with all the cuts, who do you think may stash on that IR list? It depends because, like Colton Jumper. Colton Jumper's okay. Will Compton's okay. But Josh Martin, to me, Josh Martin has potential. A few plays that I've seen him play, like he played at the end of that, I think it was the second preseason game. He was able to get in there and make some plays before he got hurt. He made some terrific plays in that game that kind of flashed on. I was like, look at him. He's playing against subpar competition. But that don't make a difference. You beat whoever in front of you. And I seen him play, and I was really kind of happy to see him in that capacity. And I think he'll be a pretty decent addition to have him stashed on that team. Travis says, should we pick up McCoy? Interesting. If you pick up McCoy, who do you get rid of? Some people would probably say, okay, I can shelve Dwayne Washington and send him back to the practice squad. But getting a guy like LaShawn McCoy would be really interesting. Man, with that, he's the perfect back for what the Saints want to do. LaShawn McCoy. But he's not going to start if you get him, Sway. He's not going to start. But LaShawn McCoy will come in as a backup, and he'll be another weapon to the offense. I wouldn't be against it. I think it'll be a good move. But
why not?
But you got Devine Zigbo there. You got Devine Zigbo.
Right.
I don't know. But me, I'm like, I playing Madden. I want all the weapons I can get, so you can't do nothing with me.
You want a big name.
I'm trying to be a common policy type of dude. I'm just saying at the end of the day, what I want to do, I want to be able to have as many weapons as I can.
You want to sign Dez Bryant. See? That's what you mean. You might as well say, I'll sign Dez Bryant, pick up LaShawn McCoy.
I ain't going after the names.
But that wouldn't be a bad idea, man.
But the guys are incredibly productive.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm just saying, that's a good call. A good call. Why not? A lot of people say, no, Q, we're going to Devine Zigbo or Dwayne Washington. I don't know. There ain't any person in the world that'll pick Dwayne Washington over LaShawn McCoy and not be considered drunk or a few cans short of a six-pack, should I say. But let's see, Rob said, when was the last time the Saints won the first game of the regular season? Good question. When was that?
Couldn't tell you.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. I know it was maybe about 3 seasons ago, I think it was, when the Saints.
I think the last time was 2013.
It's been a while. I want to say what is it? What, maybe 2 or 3 years? It wasn't 2 years. About 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Longer than that?
Was it?
Yeah. It's been a while, man. Like 2013. It's been bad. We never win the first game. Not never, but it's been a while.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, man. We got to change that trend, man. We opened against the Texans. They should be able to beat the Texans. Come on now. They should be able to do something with the Texans now.
Last year we opened up against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick started. What we said? Oh, we definitely got this one. Fitzpatrick. Anyway,
that was terrible, man. I was so disappointed and upset. You can go back and listen to that podcast. I was upset because we and then of course we then opened up and reeled off a 13-3 season. But it takes some adversity. But the Saints did a good job in coming back. This year you got a pissed off team that should stump a rat. You know what? And every last one team that it plays.
Don't let the referees get involved.
That's right. Let's just take that out of it. And now let's see. Smoke says Carlos Hyde to Houston in a trade. That's the latest thing. Thank you, Smoke. Not a bad move. Houston trying to get all the running backs they could get to get ready for the Saints. It won't work, Houston. You have a problem. And your problem is yours. We coming for your butt. Thank you, Adrian, for that. She said the thumbs up, like, subscribe, notification bell for the Sports Coma. Yeah, family, all the family in the building. We got almost 60 people in the live stream now. All the family members in the building, please do your boy a service and the family here a service by hitting that like button. Please punch the like button, please. Hit it, hit the notification bell for more content. We do these live streams. We'll be doing them every Saturday. And we'll be doing them also on the after every Saints game as well. So I think next Monday, the Saints have a Monday night game against the Houston Texans. So we'll be doing a live stream before and after the game. So, help the sports come out and the family out by hitting the notification bell, the like button. And if you aren't a subscriber, subscribe today. Why not? While you got the time, hit it. And some more questions. Flex Squad. Who that? Flex Squad 77 in the building. He says, what do you think about Saints signing linebacker Brandon Marshall, released by Oakland? Brandon Marshall's a stud, man. Brandon Marshall is what I would consider him.
There's a reason why he's released, though.
I know, but see, but that's like what happened with Chris Banjo. If somebody gonna need a special team ace to come in and play, and Brandon Marshall is a solid linebacker, I would call him like Demario Davis light. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that's incredibly productive. He's fast. He can play, and he wouldn't be bad to have him there if something's wrong with Craig Robinson and Alexander Loney. What you think about that?
Keep it where you at.
Seriously, that's an echo. Devin said, who that? Devin, welcome to the live stream, baby. Who that to you, sir?
CJ Spiller.
Let's see. CJ Spilling. Gillisley. There you go.
Gillisley.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Gillisley. Thank you, DLP 2600. He knows all the names. Yeah, Gillisley was a hard running dude. He didn't survive though.
Stop going to Buffalo.
Saints. Let's see. Dada says black suede Jabari Greer. He was from Buffalo.
That was the only good thing. The only good thing. You're absolutely correct. You found one.
He got you.
He found one. Jabari Greer, man.
Johnny D. Gill, who that baby, says, up here in North Louisiana enjoying the show. My daughter from Compton shipping me that Taysom Hill jersey. Who that Johnny D. Johnny D. Gill in the building. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for joining the live stream. Please subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Hit the notification bell, sir. Thank you. Verlin says, stop looking at Buffalo because Spiller came in and the wheels went flat.
That's right.
No Buffalo. Hey, Verlin, hashtag no Buffalo.
Only Jabari Greer.
But you heard what Dada said. Jabari Greer.
Only Jabari Greer.
Jerome said no. Hemisphere said C.J. Spiller, running back from Buffalo. Travis. Who that? Travis says great decoy. McCoy. Yep, the decoy would work well. Any weapon you could put next to in the matrix with Elvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, Jared Cook. If you throw LaShawn McCoy in there, only thing I can tell you is that wakes up everything because it opens up the playbook. Sean Payton can run dual running backs. Elvin Kamara out the backfield, he can line up as a. I mean, it just opens up the playbook where it makes the Saints unguardable. That's all I'm saying. It makes them unguardable. You get me? Any weapon you can add, even including most people are not going to go for Dez Bryant because they now are attached to Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphrey. So, I mean, when you look at it, like when Dez comes a knock and he says, I'm healthy, Saints, I'm ready to play. You think Sean Payton ain't going to do something?
I got a football question for you. Is there ever been a setup where there's been a 3 backs in the field, in the backfield?
You mean using
3 backs in the backfield?
I've seen it when they put
seen
it.
that?
I've seen offensive linemen use 3 running backs in the backfield at the same time. I've seen, but I mean, you talk about 3 very good running backs. That's something different, you know. But I've seen it before though. But anyway, let's see what the rest of the family says. Daquan says McCoy will end up in Houston because they're in need of a running back so they can pay him. I'll pass on being a Saint. Donald says McCoy is long in the tooth. Jerome says no, he can pass block. Sean says I'm feeling like Butler may be coasting second coming.
Told you.
Do y'all
think
think Butler, Humphrey, or Harris will get more playing time and bring back the X? I think out of those 3 that you named, I think probably I would have to go Butler because the Saints are they for whatever reason, his size, his speed, his work ethic. I think Sean Payton's enamored with Emmanuel Butler, so I would probably say Emmanuel Butler would probably be my pick out of those guys. I would have to go with him. Devin said that's because they treat the first 2 games like the preseason game. Yeah, Devin, that's right. And I've said that before, and I agree with you on that. How the season starts off and the Saints lose, and it usually takes like 2 games, sometimes 4 games for the Saints to hit their stride and look like a regular season team.
It never fails.
Right, that's the problem. They're a slow starting team, but they're like forgot which Saints play. I think it's Cam Jordan. We played the interview last week, and Cam Jordan said that we was a rhythm team. I think it was Cam. I want to say it was Cam, or it probably was Cam. No, it's Teron Armstead. That's who said it. Teron Armstead said it, and we played it. That the Saints are a rhythm team. So long, but you've seen bits and pieces of the offense when they played for that one possession, but that one drive when Drew Brees went out there and just was lit it up. So I mean, for them to be all healthy, for all of them to be offensive linemen, running back, wide receivers, Jared Cook's in there, and them all be healthy, they should be able to beat any team. And I don't care if you have Houston week 1 and then week 2 you have whoever, and then you got Dallas. You got both Texas teams in 4 weeks.
Right.
You know, in a month where you play both Houston, then you play Dallas, then you got a tough Seattle club. I mean, I don't care who you throw up there, schedule makers. Because the schedule makers really threw us a wacky schedule up there to try to throw us all tilt. But the only thing we can do is knock the pins down as they come one at a time.
Rams in there.
Yeah, threw the Rams up in there. Like, it didn't say, okay, no, we're going to send you up there to Los Angeles to play the Rams. That's all right. We'll kick them up there, too. We'll let the out your ass up there, too.
Damn, where you put us in?
Come on.
Put us in Turkey. I don't give a damn.
We
We should
just
have
said,
an echo, man.
he said echo.
Yeah.
I don't hear any echo. What up with the echo? He said he hear an echo. I don't know, family. All right, let's just keep it moving.
Man, we ain't been scared since the league test.
Revolt Control Radio. When you trade a first overall pick for a 3rd round pick in Kiki Mingo, that says a lot. That very true statement. Daquan says Brandon Marshall's on downfall as a running right outside linebacker, but if Craig is done, I mean, you still if Craig's done, I would rather still stick with Darnell Sankey. Darnell Sankey knows the offense. I mean the defense. He's a stellar. So why would I go and get a veteran linebacker when Darnell Sankey's nothing wrong with Sankey? You know, I just don't understand that move. But obviously they got him penciled in for going to the practice squad. You know, I don't know. You know, we'll see how that goes. But outside of that, though, family, let's see what else we got to do here with the family. We're going to read a few more comments before we get some more information, some more news. I'm going to check and see if we got anything else. We're going to do it before we get into that Jets game and break down a few things.
Dolphins.
Oh, my goodness. Dolphins. Sorry. Dolphins. I'm messing up with Lionel. Dolphins. I got that written down. That's what it is. Look. Look at
the Jets written down.
Yeah, that's going on there. I'm referring to my notes and I got the wrong team. The Dolphins don't matter is what I'm telling y'all, family. They don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter. Get them the hell out of here. But anyway, let's go ahead on. Okay, Gary said, yeah, echo. Hopefully he fixed it, though, family. I've been able to turn something down. I might have to be able to pick it up. But anyway, Travis says, trying to donate to the podcast, my card keep declining. Travis.
You got to put money on that thing. You got to put money on it, Travis.
We appreciate the help, Travis, but you got to put some money on that thing. But anyway, but if that's the case as well, we have If you you can do it through the live chat. If not through the live chat, then there's the Cash App as well. We got that information there too as well. Donna says, let's see, Hemisphere's Taysom looks a lot better than Bridgewater.
Way better.
Jerome says, Jordan showed me something he would get more playing time because he's ready. He's ready and knows the offense, okay? Daquan says Melvin Gordon is now on the trade block via the Chargers. You can forget about that. Daquan saying, would you imagine having him here? I just don't know. Hemisphere says that's not what coaching staff is about Bridgewater. Why you think he starts ahead of Hill? All right, Brian said there's one. Jason says there's one. So a couple of the family members saying a slight echo. Sean says Taysom doesn't look better than Bridgewater. Teddy is better in the pocket, but not scrambling. Post-injury, but Taysom is way better scrambler because he's a stud and that's his niche. But
he's a better thrower than Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater holds the ball too long. He's not as confident, and he's not as good a scrambler as Taysom Hill. I don't understand how anyone could ever think that Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Taysom Hill.
I don't know if I'm going to agree with that.
My gosh, man.
I mean,
the proof is in the pudding.
I mean, he played a lot better. I mean, he played better. I don't know if I can say he's better at this point. I don't know if I can agree with that.
That was a different tide of the game. The whole tide changed, Q. When Bridgewater was in the game to when Teddy was in the game.
Yeah.
And it's because Teddy dropping back 4 seconds before, well, I ain't gonna say 4 seconds, but more than two dropback steps.
Okay.
And he's not confident in his delivery. And he had a couple of good plays. Don't get me wrong, he's not an awful quarterback. He's just not better than Taysom. I definitely would take Taysom all doggone day.
Okay. Well, Sweet says he like Taysom.
I like Taysom, fam.
You take him all day over Teddy Bridgewater.
All day long. All day long. He's more in control in the huddle. He's confident. He has a speed. Once he take off, you're not catching him. He has an arm. He's
not very accurate.
Very accurate.
He's more accurate than Teddy?
Yes.
Resounding yes, huh?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
All right.
Do y'all agree with Swade, man? Family, chime in. What do you guys think, man? What do y'all think about what Swade said, man?
A lot of crazy things, but family, this is not crazy. Tell me if you saw what I seen.
And for those who don't know, we got Black Swade in the building. A family joining us. Of course, Swade joined us before many different times. He was on one of the shows over the phone. He was making his Michael Thomas. His Michael Thomas is he's talking about the Mike Thomas contract. So but let's see what some of the family members are saying. I think some of them agree with you, Swade, about him. It says Gary saying Gary is telling me that Alizé Mack has been waived.
Well, they waived him in or what?
And now he's saying they kicked him off the team. That's what Gary's reporting. Alizé Mack is that true? We're gonna have to look that up. The latest wires because the cuts are gonna be coming in fast and furious, family, because the deadline is approaching. The deadline is approaching. Hold on here. Okay, there we go. So we have as it's a deadline that's supposed to be for today. So there's a few things they're coming in fast and furious, but so far I haven't heard anything on it. We're gonna keep looking. But Gary saying Alizé Mack didn't make the cut. AJ Derby didn't make the cut. Neither did Dan Arnold. So the Saints, if that's the truth, I mean, we're gonna look into it and see what's going on, Gary. But thank you for the information. Scoop said we cut Ziggy. Yeah, Ziggy. Haven't heard anything about some of the family members reported that Ziggy Hood didn't make the cut, or neither Sylvester Williams. I don't like either one of those moves, man. What you saying?
Oh, you're not hearing that? Mm. All right.
Mm. So outside of that, family, let's keep it moving. Jason said he's right though. Q. Jason says Q. What the f you talking about? Look, LOL. Hemisphere saying Taysom playing every game against chumps, third string dudes. No one will make an NFL roster.
Oh man,
here we go. But I can't. I'm listening. I'm saying. But hear me out, family. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, we've had this discussion before about how I feel about Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill. I think Teddy Bridgewater is not. Now I've said this, and y'all know I've said this. I've said this 1,000 times, if not 1,000,000 times. That this is not the same Teddy Bridgewater from Minnesota.
No, it's not.
Now, I didn't. Donna, you heard me say that. Sean, you heard me say that. D, Demi, Verlin, y'all. How many times have you heard me get up here on this mic and on various podcasts and profess to you guys over and over again that this is not the same Teddy Bridgewater playing for the Saints from Minnesota?
I'm tired of this.
You know, I'm just saying.
I'm tired of it. Teddy Bridgewater is the modern day Aaron Brooks. I said it. That's right, I said it.
Come on, bro. The man that you went interception smiling, dude.
Huh? He did smile the week. Last week he did. He sure did. Hey, bro.
I'm saying, I'm saying, my spiel is, we talked about what Teddy Bridgewater is, but the Saints made him the highest paid backup in the league for a reason. It's because they feel safer with him at the quarterback position than they do anybody else. They're just going to keep it real with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, Taysom Hill, even though Sean Payton likes Taysom Hill, the reality at the end of the day is that Taysom Hill needs more experience. He needs more experience. And the fact that they have him playing such a reckless position as a special teams is eye-opening. The fact that he's good at doing it is one thing. But seriously, if Drew Brees had the same athleticism and the same grit or the same physicals that Taysom Hill, let's say Drew Brees was Taysom, had everything Taysom Hill, meaning he can run guys, run around guys, run over guys, all that. Now let's say he had the exact same skill set, but he was still Drew Brees. Would you take Drew Brees and put him in the special teams and have him blocking kicks? No, you wouldn't do that because you wouldn't see him get hurt. But I'm saying Taysom Hill can throw the deep ball. I've said this again. I'm gonna say it again for the family that don't remember. That I said there's nothing wrong with his deep ball. I love his athleticism and scrambles. A lot of time we talked about the fact, Krass can admit to that, is that he's gotten better going through progressions. I said he sits in the pocket and he can go through his progressions, then deliver the throw with people around him. After he goes through his progressions and he doesn't see something, then he takes off. I've said that about Taysom Hill, and I've also said during minicamp, before minicamp, pre-minicamp, minicamp, and training camp, that Taysom Hill, with accuracy, is a very good quarterback. Imagine everything he has, and then he becomes a better passer. Right. I've even also said the reason why he's not as further along as he could be is by the fact that he's being used in the special teams room. And that is a stall in his development. So I've been championing for Taysom Hill. But at the end of the day, the Saints are going to go with the more reliable of the two. But in Sean Payton's mind, Bridgewater is more reliable than Taysom Hill. Family might not like that, but that's the reality. It's the reality of what it is. He's more comfortable with him.
Like you said, the only reason that Taysom may be number 3 is because we need him at other positions to be that Swiss Army knife. That is the only reason. And the only reason they'll put Teddy Bridgewater above Taysom, again, so Taysom, the phenomenal athlete that he is, can be that Swiss Army knife. I promise you. Teddy Bridgewater is not even close. And I'm going to say it again. He's the modern day Aaron Brooks.
All right, family. We got an updated list here just to let you know. We just got a list here of some more cuts adding to it as we begin balling them down. Chris Banjo, we know about him. It is official. Ziggy Hood has been released. We know about Dan Arnold. And TJ Green, the big defensive back, was released. Marcus Henry was also released. Alize Mack was released. And Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphrey all released. So you know who that leads? This wide receivers room, the most least expected wide receiver that nobody would clap for. You know who it was? Austin Carr.
I wouldn't want that call. I'll take Emmanuel Butler. I told y'all that's your next man. You know what? This makes me sick. I'm gone.
It's official. It's official, family. It's official. The reports is being reported from several media outlets, and one of our favorites is NOLA.com's reporting it. Is that Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood, Dan Arnold, TJ Green, Butler? Marcus Henry, Alize Mack, Emmanuel Butler, and LaJordan Humphreys all released. And some bit of information for you is that Marcus Shuros, the cornerback from Minnesota, has been placed on the injury reserve. So there you go, family. It's fresh in onto waiver wire. And Emmanuel Butler, LaJordan Humphrey, Marcus Shrells on the IR, and Alizé, Emmanuel Butler, LaJordan Humphrey, all cut. All cut. That is official, family. Chime in. I know y'all got something to say. Come on now with it. Who that, Chad? Who that, baby? Let's see what a couple of what the family said.
This is sickening.
Lionel says, "What's up? Thanks, Wade. Offense seems much better. We cut Marcus." Humphrey says, "Scoob." Lloyd, who that, Lloyd? He said, "Ask your boy this. Why Sean never put Taysom in the first half with the starters if it was a competition?" I'm waiting.
Because it's not. I'm going to tell you why. Because like I just said before, it's really not a competition. It's really not a competition. They are keeping Taysom for his athletic ability. This guy can play special teams. He can play quarterback. Hell, they might throw him at receiver. He wants to keep him there, especially this season. That is going to be his role. His role is not going to be the backup Drew. Okay? His role is going to be the Swiss Army knife. Until Drew is gone, then possibly he can move up to number one. But still, they would rather him at that Swiss Army knife position, which would better the offense.
I don't know if I agree with you, Swade, as I
that's
mess
fine.
with this darn thing right here.
That's fine. Why my man get his thing together.
Yeah, I'll get this damn thing together here, twisting it and turning and everything. But anyway, family, very interesting to hear the things.
I just wonder why they got rid of Emmanuel Butler, man. What's wrong with you?
Revolt Control Radio says Swade tripping. Teddy is a proven regular season QB. Taysom is a proven Swiss Army knife. Thanks, Revolt. And Sean said he's not the same player, Q. Thank you, sir. Chad says somebody check Teddy's completion percentage since the injury. Hey, that's a good one, Swede. You want to get on that? Thanks, Chad. Swede's going to check on that. Sure, Sean P said, I ain't saying he's Vikings Bridgewater, but he's still better. And do that, man. That's Swede. You look ice cold, dog. Devin Cook, stop expecting to see the second coming of Drew. Teddy is just a bridge for the next QB.
Yeah, Teddy pool water.
He's just a bridge. Hence the term bridge over water. Yeah. But if you look, let's see, Dada says, at Black Suede, Bridgewater has all starters a whole game and Taysom. Then we see, hold on, let me read that again. Black Suede, Bridgewater has all starters a whole game and Taysom. Then we'll see. Suede stuck on heel running, but defense you play may stop that run and make you throw it.
Don't forget, Bridgewater played with the second string players.
Taysom
played with the third string offensive players.
But that Dada makes an interesting and compelling argument. Is the fact that if the defense says, okay, we're going to key or spy Taysom Hill, could he beat you up the field? And I would say in most cases, some cases, Taysom Hill, as he developed to be a better, he develops that QB clock. And he could be able to see what he see. But they're making compelling points. They're telling you that the man is playing against, lesser talent. He's playing against second and third string. Because there's a difference when you're playing against starters. A lot of them the starter guys are a lot more smarter than them second string guys. Hence, that's why they're ahead of them. So, but Taysom Hill, could he, if they put the pressure on him and force him to stay in the pocket like they play defense against Cam Newton, could Taysom beat teams from the pocket consistently to help the teams win? That's the question. That's a very good question. I see where the family coming from. You got to look at it. Let's see here. Let's see what the family member's saying. A lot of stuff's coming in. They're saying, Chad says, let's see. Hold on here, family. Go back up here. Let's see. What up, Shandon? Well, who that to you, baby?
He sure.
Let's see. Hemisphere, man, I feel everyone looks at a player for what he did in the past, not what he's doing right now. Thank you, Hemisphere.
What he's doing right now ain't nothing.
Verlin says, I've been Taysom's biggest supporter on here. Yes, he's better all around. And Teddy, to me, is gaining his confidence back a little. Teddy is basically a so-called safe bet hated. Yep. The Rome, I see TJ Green, Mac, Hood cut. I thought Green would be taking Banjo job. Not so, bro. If anybody would be taking Banjo job, is he like the family say? I agree with what Dada was saying. Saquon Hampton, I see what DLP 2600 was saying. You got to look at Saquon Hampton. My thing would be JT Gray. JT Gray is a special teams guy. That's how he made it last year when a lot of people didn't know who the hell he was. And I expect the same thing to happen here. So obviously that's the case. That's coming into the season is the fact that JT Gray is going to make the team again. Not to mention Saquon Hampton. He's a hitter. He stepped up. And to be honest with you, the Saints need more of a player on the defense. And even though Chris Banjo was excellent at special teams, but he was a defensive liability when you bring him in. And I think the Saints seen what we seen. You know, they seem to see. Jerome says, I see TJ Green, Mac, hood cut. I thought Green would be taking Bainjo jab. Shandon said, if Drew was Taysom, he would have retired a long time ago. He would have taken too much hits. Cam is on the chopping block now. I don't know, Shandon, because Drew, you got to understand, Drew, if Drew had Taysom's ability to scramble and the toughness, like he would run over people, that toughness that he has, I don't think Drew will be as reckless as Taysom is, if you understand what I'm saying. Drew's a lot more cerebral than Taysom Hill is. He goes through his progressions. You know what I'm saying? He looks over the field. He had a QB clock. He's a Hall of Famer. So even if he felt for a second that he can get the pass off, he'd get the pass off. But if he didn't see anything, notice Drew goes through the progressions very fastly. And then if you don't see anything, he checks it down to the wide receiver and let him go and get it. But if he had his speed, sometimes he would run additionally to get that. Imagine how bad the offense would be if Drew Brees did scramble a little bit more for those extra yards. Because when they're covering everybody, Drew has a lane to run most plays. If he decided to take the 3 or 4 yards and slide, that'll be one thing. But Drew don't want to take those hits. So I wouldn't think he would do the same thing Taysom Hill would be. He wouldn't have been knocked out of the league because he wouldn't have been taking on guys like that. Drew would have been judicious with that scramble ability. Judicious. That's right, baby. Judicious.
You walk up in there and you judicious.
Drew-dicious. How about that? Drew-dicious. That's what we're gonna say instead of judicious. Drew-dicious. We're gonna be Drew-dicious with his ability to scramble. That is a good shirt. Chad says Breeze is a superhero. He sees windows before they open. It's amazing. He throws to a spot on the field. He don't throw to your ass. If you got somebody running around the field and he throwing to the guy, that's what Teddy Bridgewater doing. Teddy Bridgewater is throwing to the guy. That makes the difference between great and grow. Drew knows the offense so well. He throws to a spot on the field that your ass is supposed to be. That's what Drew Brees does. Watch the film. Drew throws to a spot he knows where you're supposed to be. And that's what it is about. Teddy Bridgewater be trying to throw the ball to the wide receiver. It's a difference. And that's not saying one is a knock on Teddy, but even Teddy will tell you, man, that's Drew Brees. I try to learn everything I can learn from Drew Brees. Yeah, you better. You better, because Drew's a Hall of Famer, and he's a guy that's going to really help you if you're a quarterback in this league. And and the great part about Drew Brees, he's not like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. When Brett Favre got there, Aaron Rodgers said, Brett Favre ain't showed me nothing. He said he ain't showed me nothing. I had to learn it all. And I just think that's terrible because Drew shows them guys behind him, even though, they trying to be competition to him, he's showing them the game to help him because he knows, that as long as he do what he's going to do, he's going to be the guy there. And I love that mentality. That's something that most winners should have. You shouldn't be threatened by the guy playing behind you as long as he's doing you going through the preparation. And I think Drew's confident knowing that because there's nobody that prepares like that. You see Teddy Bridgewater stand 2-3 hours after practice going through mental reps in his head, going through 60-minute imagining the game or putting the ball to himself and throwing passes and then go sit, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of borderline insane.
You see what I'm saying? That is absolutely amazing that Drew Brees does that has that level of preparation. And that's why he's as great as he is. And another guy that has that level of preparation is Mike Thomas. It's insane how these guys probably, he's like, well, they just naturally good. No, these guys work their ass off in practice to get that good. And they come out in the game and it shows. And it just goes to show the greatness of some of these guys out here playing. Tyrone, he says Teddy still will beat out Hill on his bad day. Smoke said they just cut Emmanuel Butler. Glenn says Marcus Shrell's on it. Thank the family for chiming in and bringing the news as well, as we just reported it as well. So thank you, family, for chiming in. Appreciate Adrian for dropping the links as well. She's tremendous help to the show. Jason says Hill going to end up being the modern day Del Home because they won't give him a chance. Wow. Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme will go somewhere and go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. And then not only go to the Super Bowl, but he remember he was good with Carolina for many years too in that capacity. Every time the Saints played him, he kicked their butt.
Yeah,
so
I don't like that. What you trying to say?
I mean, I don't think the Saints gonna let Taysom Hill go. But Taysom Hill, you dealing with Taysom versus Bridgewater, and the guy is a former first-round draft pick, really not supposed to be here. He was only here in the Saints capacity because of an injury. Minnesota lost confidence in him and ultimately traded them to the Jets. The Jets had enough quarterbacks, and the Saints were able to get him for, a third-round pick last year?
Yeah, it was like third round, like for
He's a
Bottle
quarter.
of water and 2 envelopes.
So he's basically the guy that's not supposed to be here anyway. But to get a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, despite the fact that he's still lacking a little confidence, he kind of iffy with that injury. The hope is that he comes out of it, and when he gains more knowledge of the offense and becomes Teddy Bridgewater of old, which is not, he's not really that old. He's like what, 4 years in the league, and you're thinking like he just got an old man aura about himself, like he's been here for 8 years. The guy's been here for like what, 4 years?
Not as long as Aaron Brooks.
I don't share that Brooks comparison, my friend. Let's see.
You know what, y'all real chinky with this Aaron Brooks thing. Y'all was in love with Aaron Brooks. He won our first playoff game. But you say Aaron Brooks and everybody, oh Lord, don't do that, man. That Aaron Brooks was damn good that first year. Huh? Don't act funny. Don't act like you ain't listen to Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. Y'all used to like Aaron Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Don't act all funny. Now after he, that first year, he started sucking.
Bro, who listened to Hammer don't Please Don't Hurt Him?
I did.
I didn't listen to him.
Come on, man.
I didn't listen to Hammer. Please don't hurt him, bro.
Don't act like y'all ain't like Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. Help
I didn't
children. Pray.
I remember them from the radio. I remember the praise song from the radio. I didn't listen to Hammer Don't Hurt Him. So.
I had it. I had the cassette. I bought it on Canal Street from a bootleg. I sure did, but I had it though.
What was on the cover, bro?
Ham was like this.
And he had them big stupid glasses on?
He had the big stupid the gazelle, and they had the Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. It was like written on the side, but that's what it was. Come on, man, don't play. Come on, kids. Come on, 90 kids. What's happening?
I ain't listen to Hammer Don't Hurt Him, bro. I'm sorry. You on your own with that one, family.
Man,
I ain't listen to that one, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't listen to Hammer Don't Hurt Him.
Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Anyway.
Do it again, bro. Show the family with the hammer. Oh, please, Hammer Don't Hurt Him. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate the donation. Cheryl, thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Look, Devin. Hold on. We're going to get to
Old Town 357. Come on, man. Sweet LD. Juicy. What you want? Juicy B?
Juicy got me going crazy.
Oh, Juicy. Come on, man. But now y'all gonna act all hard, but I ain't never listened to that stuff.
Oaktown had that little movement, bro. They had a little movement.
Guess who backed them, though?
Who?
MC Hammer.
That's right.
Oaktown, huh?
Remember Too Big MC?
No,
that was his sidekick.
I don't remember him.
How you listening and don't know that?
I know Too Big MC.
Too Big, the guy that was rapping with him when he first started? His hype man? Come on, Hammer.
That was his name?
Too Big MC.
See, I ain't know that.
Yeah, see, you don't know.
He knew it, though.
I knew it. You know why I knew? You know I knew? Because they used to play the songs on the radio. That's how I knew.
I ain't know his name.
I ain't never owned it. But I tell you one thing, I ain't never owned a CD or anything from MC Hammer. But anyway, let's get back into the discussion. Chad says, let's get there. Let me go on a little further here, family. Chime in. Chad said, my pickup until this year was Teddy, but you have to admit that his accuracy has gotten not just worse, but way worse. That's what Chad says. Glenn says Kirkwood and Harris make the 53. Gary says Harris and Kirkwood made the team. What the deuce, says Sean P. Dequan, thumbs up. Devin said, I don't agree with the Humphries release. Verlin says Taysom is having difficulty due to his he has to do too much. He's actually better than Teddy because Taysom is doing it with busted hands after doing all that running and blocking as an army knife. I've said that, Verlin. I agree with you. The fact that they're using him in several different capacities impacts his offensive acumen because the more time he's used elsewhere could be used in doing his deals with doing his quarterback business, which is what he actually is. Travis says Humphrey is going to be a beast elsewhere. Roscoe says, what the F Humphrey cut? I know Roscoe. Chad says Taysom would have killed Taysom would have killed it with the starting line. Robert says Austin Carr has chemistry for Drew. A's family, we talked about it. We talked about all the receivers. And the least guy, remember we talked about this on the show, the least favorite guy that everybody wanted to talk about was Austin Carr. Remember when I was saying the family clap for Austin Carr? Nobody wanted to clap for Austin Carr, so I had to play a special effect of somebody clapping. Nobody believed in the little man that could, but look at him. He beat the big guys. Austin Carr looks to have made the team. Dada says Harris' speed will help the special teams and hopefully the wide receiver core as well. True. Chad said, but I don't feel our air is on the team. Remember, Chad, Sean Payton did say that when asked about Drew Brees' appearing a couple seasons ago when he brought Taysom Hill aboard, he says the air is in the building. Remember that. Coach Payton did say that. And also,
I'll say that one more time.
He said the air was in the building when Taysom Hill was brought here. And Sean Payton basically said that his air was in the building. Now, Sean can feed you some bad gumbo if you let him. He's saying that the backup quarterback was in the build. His future quarterback was in the building.
All right. I know what I'm talking about, fam. Come on now.
And Sean Payton said that. Now, Sean Payton could be, like I said, he can give you some bad gumbo if you let him.
Yeah, but I don't just sit here and look cute.
And Chad said, turn his mother out.
Turn his mother out. Get with it. Come on, man. What?
And Devin says that was my first cassette.
Hell yeah. Sit down. Straight up, Chad, Devin, man. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying?
Roscoe, look at Roscoe. Roscoe said, I love Aaron Brooks. Was great for the end. Okay, Jeff Blake to 2003. Afterwards, it was a blur and paper bags shaking my head.
Yeah, he sucked after that first year. It was over for him. His rookie card was like, it was worth a whole lot. He got all his money that first year. And then that second year was just downhill, man. He just sucked. And they went to shipping to Oakland and oh Lord.
But this is compelling though, family, because, you know, just to go over a few things. What's up, Paul? Who that to your family? Paul's in the live stream, family. Just to make mention of a few things, family.
Juicy Smollett. I got you, Juicy Smollett. You don't know that guy. You ain't see the new Dave Chappelle thing?
No.
Oh, Dave Chappelle has a new stand-up. Came out last week.
You seen
Sticks and Stones, yeah.
It's funny?
That's how, yeah, it's funny. It's Chappelle.
New Chappelle ain't been that funny to me. He's good in this one?
Yeah, we'll check it out later.
I'm at to check. Yeah, I'm at to holler at him. He said, Chad said Juicy got him crazy. Cold going man.
Cold going man. Oh, cold going.
Dow said Alizé Mack got cut down. He still a lot of the family members now are still going over the fact that the Saints have cut 17 players so far. And let's see, on Friday they cut 17 and cutting 14 players and placing 3 on injury reserve. Let's go over the list again, family. Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood, Dan Arnold, TJ Green, Marcus Henry, who's the offensive lineman, Alizé Mack, Emmanuel Butler, LeJardan Humphreys, Michael Burton, the backup fullback, was added to a list. Michael Ola has been cut.
Get out of here,
Sylvester
man.
Williams, Porter Galston has been released. Derek Kelly, Devine Ezigbo has been released, family.
I know you lying.
Devine Ezigbo has been released, family.
Hold on,
Devine Ezigbo. Devine Ezigbo is the running back. That's a misprint.
Maybe Devine Ezigbo is a misprint.
No, the DL is Devine Ezigbo is the running back. The DL, the sentiment behind. So let me go over this list again, family. The latest cuts are in. Terrell Williams Jr., the big defensive back, is cut. Devine Ezigbo, family, is cut. Derek Kelly, who was doing really good, the undrafted offensive lineman, has been cut. Porter Galston has been cut. Sylvester Williams, Michael Ola, Michael Burton, LeJardan Humphrey, Emmanuel Butler, Alizé Mack, Marcus Henry, TJ Green, Dan Arnold, Ziggy Hood, and Chris Banjo.
I always believed
the latest.
Washington, though. So yeah, I thought he was a real damn good back. So I can see how you can let Zigbo go, but somebody's going to pick him up. I know.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, man, but that's the running back.
Dwayne Washington is the running back. Huh?
He's the running back. But I'm saying, this is absolutely insane, family. And I wanted to get to my depth chart before the rest of these cuts came out because I had my depth chart. No, my depth chart looks a hell of a lot. You know what? I might as well not even go over it because it don't make no sense to go over it now. It done blew the hell up. Devine Ezigbo made my team. LeJardan Humphreys made my team. So did Emmanuel Butler. You know, those guys made the team. I even have Alizé Mack on the team. He made the team for me. Marshall Newhouse and Michael Ola made the team.
Unless you plan on signing Dez Bryant, it's right.
I don't know what's going on here, but obviously the Saints are looking elsewhere, so we'll see exactly what's going on. But also, I thought Sylvester Williams could slide in there and make the team. Darnell Sankey bearing the injuries to the two linebackers, Craig Robinson and Alexander Zaloni. Perhaps that he could have made the team. And I had Kevon Webster making my team. I had Ken Crawley being cut. I had Chris Banjo actually making a team. It's absolutely amazing, family, right now. Let me go over the list right now for the family members. Once again, the latest cuts are in, family. Then we're going to reflect back to the family members and see what their thoughts are on some of the latest additions of what's been happening thus far in this deal. And we're going to answer your questions momentarily, family. Once I get my computer to refresh here. And we're going to give you the updated version of the cuts list once again. Absolutely mind-blowing of what we're saying today, family, as far as some of these cuts are concerned. The latest cuts, Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood. Let me start from the top.
But Ken Crawley is still alive.
Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood, Dan Arnold, TJ Green, for most who don't know, the big defensive back, played safety, played a little corner. Marcus Henry, the offensive lineman, no surprise there. Alize Mack. Thought they would keep Mack. They cut the other guy. Thought they would keep 4 tight ends. Alize Mack is on the street. Emmanuel Butler. All this stuff about Emmanuel Butler. He showed up in the preseason games. And look what happened. They put him on the street. LaJordan Humphries. There's no reason why LaJordan Humphries couldn't earn a spot. Absolutely amazing. He's on the street. Michael Burton, who's the backup fullback. Michael Ola is on the street. No surprise. The Saints did him that last year. Then brought him back in the season. Sylvester Williams, I really like what Sylvester Williams could do. He was a nose tackle that could really help you out. He's gone. Porter Galston, not really surprised by Porter Galston. Derek Kelly, who's an undrafted guy, he headed for the practice squad. But Devine Ezigbo did everything he was supposed to do. He had a fumble
off of injury.
He was
not saying he was injured, but Dwayne Washington was injured.
Dwayne Washington had a concussion. He shined in the final preseason game.
Dwayne Washington's injury.
He was shining throughout the camps before. When he came into mini camps, when he was shining in mini camps. He looked good in training camp, and all throughout preseason when he got an opportunity to play, he looked good. Only mark against him was the fact that he had that fumble. But the rest of those moves were absolutely everything he did was perfect. I mean, Devine Ezigbo should be on this damn team. I don't understand that. Terrell Williams is also released, the other big safety the Saints brought in from the 49ers, had some time there out of the University of Houston, I believe he came from. He's on the street. And some additional information of players that were put on the injury reserve. Defensive back Marcus Shrells on IR. Marshall Newhouse, the big offensive line, was placed on IR. And Cameron Tom, my opinion, Cameron Tom is the best backup offensive lineman we have. Cameron Tom is now placed on injury reserve, y'all. So this is problematic. These cuts are problematic, especially the injury reserve guys. Cameron Tom placed on IR. So is Marcus Shrells. That's no surprise there. Marshall Newhouse. That's no surprise there. But losing Cameron Tom and placing him on IR, that upsets your entire backup offensive lineman group. Newhouse, Ola. The top tier group, they cut him. Ryan Groy, who was competing, Marshall Newhouse, Michael Ola, all those guys have now been released. Who do you have? Will Clapp, Nick Easton, yeah. Derek Kelly, who was playing better than most of those guys. He was in the street. Yeah. So what are the Saints doing here, family? And let's get to what the family's saying is we rolling out some of the final cuts of what's going on. Let's see what the family's saying here. McKinsey, I haven't heard Jordan cut. Austin Carr players. Scoop says Austin Carr plays receiver like a fullback. That dude likes contact. Robert says, when will they start on the practice squad? After the initial cuts to get down to 53, then they can be setting motion to get the rest of the guys on the practice squad. But Derek Kelly, Devine Ezigbo, Emmanuel Butler, LaJordan Humphries, most of those guys are going to end up on the practice squad. Now, will they stay there for very long? Who knows? But Paul says y'all look like Jim Wilkes and Frank Warren if they had been younger. The Dome Patrol D line would be great. He looked like hey Paul. I don't know about that, but I think he looked like Ronaldo Turnbull, don't you think? Paul, he looked like Ronaldo Turnbull, don't he?
Paul said Frank Warren, Jim Wilkes.
Oh Thank you, Paul. Roscoe says he Zigbo cut. Shaking my head. I'ma cut the mother cutter. Revolt says, so we going with 2 tight ends. Revolt, I think they're going to do something else. They're going to bring some other guys they might be looking at. But it's absolutely insane. You have Jared Cook and Josh Hill currently right now. Now, A.J. Derby did enough. He wasn't perfect, but he done enough to earn a spot at least. I mean, come on.
I think Dez is coming.
And Swade said Dez is coming. Smoke says there was a moment in the game when Sean called Taysom to the sideline and it looked like the future. Smoke saying he think Taysom Hill is the future.
He is the future.
Donald said, where you see the cuts. You can go, Donald, you can go to NOLA.com, man. NOLA.com is one of the ones that I use. Several sites that I use. I use several sites. But if you really want to know the updated ones, go to NOLA.com. They got a cut list there that they'll put out, and it's very simple. You can follow and read it. So try NOLA.com, NOLA.com. Go to the Saints section, and you'll see the title. I think the title of the article, or let me see if I can scroll up here. Whatever reason, my damn computer's giving me all kind of problems.
But you know, with them cutting good players like that, I guess it's a good problem to have. You know, you have enough room where you can kind of release good players like that, even though it seems as it sucks. But that doesn't mean you have people better than those cats.
I think you got a point on that, Sway, because if you like, it's always a bigger vision here. Right. And even though we see most of these guys getting cut, the Saints obviously see better talent somewhere around here.
They're there all day, every day. See these guys play inside and out, been mini camp. They've scouted these guys, so it's something that they know better than we do. And I always believe that, and they never let us down, especially as far as the draft and the scouting and who they decide to keep and who they let go. We just don't understand right now.
I mean, we look. You can try to make heads or tails. We know every now and again they seem to overthink themselves. Like we know about the Dan Arnold thing. You know, we were calling the damn Dan Arnold thing some time ago because it's not that hard. It's not astrophysics. It's not quantum physics. This is football, and you know when somebody look good. The name of it, the kind of for Donald is called on NOLA.com. Saints roster cuts finished. Okay, so that's the see the list. And it was done 41 minutes ago as of 3 p.m. Central Time, where the deadline was at 3 o'clock today. Of course, we 41 minutes past that mark, and this is the final round of cuts. And it came down to the wire, and the final players didn't make it. And of course, didn't make it. Devine Zigbo was one of the final cuts, him and Terrell Williams. And of course, like I said, not to mention, we're thinking about the cuts, but there were, of course, several players that were put on the IR as well that we want to mention. Marcus Shrells, the cornerback from Minnesota, was placed on IR. So was Marshall Newhouse, the veteran offensive lineman. And then center guard Cameron Tom, who's, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman, reserve offensive lineman the Saints have. Then, of course, Devine Zigbo, one of my favorite undrafted gems, was a guy that I thought the Saints should hold on to. They released him and put him in the street. Terrell Williams, the big defensive back, is also gone. So that's the completed list. Family got to chime in on this here thing. They got to chime in on this here thing. Let's see what the family got to say about that. That's right, Sean. Zigbo's done. Jerome says, answer this. Who's the third tight end? Nobody right now. Currently, nobody is the third tight end. They only have 2 tight ends on the roster. It's Jared Cook and Josh Hill. They've cut Alice A. Mack as of today. They've cut A.J. Derby yesterday, and they cut Dan Arnold today. So that's the 3 tight ends that you have. And Garrett Griffin, who's one of my favorite, is on the IR. They placed him on the IR 3 days ago.
Who else ain't coming?
Huh? But he doesn't play tight end, though. Des Bryant.
You got to make room, though. That's all.
Okay. Roscoe says, not Ziggy. This is bunk. I'm teed off. He teed about that. Ziggy should have made this team. So you know what that means, family? You know what the hell that means? You know what? Let's do it like this. I'll tell you just give me a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the current roster minus these guys, and I'm about to tell y'all exactly what it is right now. So you guys will know exactly who's on this damn team. Just give me just one wonderful second here, and I'm going to show you exactly what all the improvements on the team, who is left on this team, minus all the guys we mentioned.
All right.
Okay, now here we go. Okay, now looking at the wide receiver position, you want to know who's behind Mike Thomas and Ted Ginn Jr. We know about Traquan Smith. He's there. Keith Kirkwood has not been released or placed on IR, so Keith Kirkwood has made the team, family. Okay? Barring the release deadline has passed. And whoever is still here is going to be on the active roster. Of course, they can cut somebody and bring somebody new in or what have you, but they got a lot of slots. They still have a lot of slots left. But Keith Kirkwood, besides the big three of Thomas, Ted Ginn Jr., and Traquan Smith, we knew Traquan Smith wasn't going to get cut. Because the Saints still want to see what he can do. So we knew that. I knew that. But Keith Kirkwood has made the team. Austin Carr has made the team. And Deontay Harris has made the team. So that's your wide receiver core. Mike Thomas, Ted Ginn Jr., Traquan Smith, Keith Kirkwood, Deontay Harris, and Austin Carr. You got that, family? That's your current wide receiver as of today, as it stands. Going to your offensive lineman, you know it's Armstead, Pete, McCoy, Warfoot, and Ramchecker. You're starting 5 behind the backup offensive lineman before they add guys to the mixture. With Michael Ola being released, Cameron Tom placed on IR. You have Nick Easton there. And behind him, I haven't heard. I think Anthony Gridwood was cut. Derek Kelly was cut. Marshall Newhouse on IR. Patrick Omame. Patrick Omame made the team. Will Clapp made the team. So that is promising. So behind the 3 linemen that are left before they add somebody, currently backup offensive linemen for the Saints are Nick Easton, Will Clapp, and Patrick Omame. Okay, we got that. That's your reserve offensive lineman right now. Tight ends, only 2 of them on staff. They released Dan Arnold, put Garrett Griffin on IR, and they released Alize Mack. So there's only 2 tight ends currently until they find somebody. Something tell me they're going to get somebody. Running backs, Elvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, and Dwayne Washington. Those are your 3. The Saints could be just going with 3 running backs and a fullback, which is Zach Lyon. Everybody else has been released. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Of course, your front starting 4 linemen, Cam Jordan, Sheldon Rankins, Malcolm Brown, and Marcus Davenport. We did a podcast a few days ago telling you about the fact that Sheldon Rankins is way ahead of schedule. Will he play in the opening game? Is starting to show that he will play a little bit in that game. How much? I don't know. David Onyemata will miss that Houston game because of the suspension, unfairly leveled against him by the garbage chunk mission. By the way, go get your shirts at the pro shop or the chunk mission and show your hate and style, baby. Show your hate and style, baby. But this is the funny part about it. Who's the guys behind him? Now, Chad, you were asking, who's the third pass rusher? Well, guess who it is? It's Trey Henderson. Trey Henderson has made the team. And guess who else made the team? Wes Harton made the team. Wes Harton, unrestricted free agent that came over from the Carolina Panthers, is on the team, family. Wes Harton is made the team at the end. Yeah. He is a hoop now. Taylor Stallworth, of course, made the team. Mario Edwards Jr. made the team. So you got 2 juniors. You got Ted Ginn Jr. and Mario Edwards Jr. So juniors all around. Okay, then Sylvester Williams, of course, released. Ziggy Hill was released. And guess who snuck in there? Shy Tuttle. The undrafted Jim from Tennessee. Shy Tuttle snuck in there. Shy Tuttle. Oh, they picked him over Ziggy because he probably, like the family said, could have been cheaper. But that's what it is. So let's go over that again for the family, for Chad and everybody else, so they can understand what your backup defensive lineman look like. It's obviously Trey Henderson on one side, Wes Harton, then it's Taylor Stallworth, David Onyemata, Mario Edwards Jr., and Shy Tuttle. How you feel about that? I'm not done. We'll go over the rest of it. Then I'm going to get the family in here. Then we're going to open up the phone lines. And I want the family members to call in and talk to me as Wade on the air. And let's get your thoughts on what do you think about this whole deal going on. Linebackers, A.J. Klein, Alex Anzalone, Vince Bigel, Cade Nellis, Demario Davis, Craig Robertson. Well, let's just do it like this. Starting 3 linebackers, A.J. Klein, Alex Anzalone, Demario Davis. Backups, Vince Bigel, Cade Nellis, Craig and Robertson. That's it. No Porter Galston, no Darnell Sinke. They're riding with 6 guys, and that's it.
I'm scared of that cornerback.
Okay, let's go to the cornerback room now. Let's go to the defensive backfield. Starting 4 cornerbacks, Marshawn Lattimore, Eli Apple. Then you have Von Bell and Marcus Williams. Now, who's behind these guys here? That's left. P.J. Williams is still here. Kid Crawford is here. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is here. So you have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Ken Crawley, P.J. Williams, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's here, Saquon Hampton, J.T. Gray, Justin Hardy. Those are your defensive backs, not to mention Patrick Robinson made it. Okay, so let's go over those reserve linemen, the cornerbacks again. Defensive backs, excuse me. P.J. Williams made the team. Ken Crawley made the team. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Saquon Hampton, J.T. Gray, and Justin Hardy have made the team, not to mention Patrick Robinson survived. Okay, so there you go. Now, behind them, we know about our special teams, no big surprise. Will Lutz, Morstead, and Zach Wood, all are staples. So with me saying all that, family, and basically just breaking down the entire active roster as she stands before the Saints decide to add anybody else, what say you, Sports Coma family? After sitting with us and we went through the entire deadline here, the Saints chime in and they released everybody. Just another run at it for people that may have just joined the live stream, just to let you guys know that this is the current list of players released today. Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood, Dan Arnold, T.J. Green, Marcus Henry, Alizé Mack, the tight end, Emmanuel Butler, and LaJardan Humphrey, the wide receivers, Michael Burton, Michael Ola, the offensive lineman, Sylvester Williams is the defensive lineman, Porter Galston, Derek Kelly, the second, the offensive lineman, Devontae Zigbo, the running back, and Terrell Williams. Now, guys placed on the injury reserve, Marcus Shirels was placed on the IR, so is Marshall Newhouse and Cameron Tom. So I've just went down the list again and just went to the active roster to just read to see what the family thought about it. Now, to go over some of the comments from some of the family members, Gary says Carl Granderson has been reinstated. Thank you for that information there. Let's scroll up. I think I might have missed a few more comments up here. Yeah, I know I did. Let's see here.
It's been a while. We've been a while since we went back to the family.
Okay, let's go back to try to read all that fantastic information. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see where you see the cuts. Okay, let's answer that. All right, Zigbo going to by Scoop. Yes, Scoop, he's gone. Did Washington make it D? Yes, Dwayne Washington did make it D. He made the active roster. Devin says, man, who do we have left on the team? Just went down the roster, family. Flex Squad 77 said, wait, this is crazy. How did out of all these people Ken Crawley make it? Is one of the questions that will baffle you from here to the dawn of civil to the end of time. Is how Ken Crawley made this team despite the fact that he was outplayed by several individuals, including his own mama. So I mean, when it comes down to it, I just don't understand, man, how Ken Crawley made this team. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's insane. It's stupid. It's I don't even have a word to describe it. It's insane. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Jermaine Houdat said because of that one play made in the last game. One play saved you for that. Is that how crazy it is? So if that's the case, why did Devontae Zigbo make it? I know the reason why Shy Tuttle made it is because he played really well in that last game and showed them something how disruptive he could be. You know, that's how Shy Tuttle make it. But just because you had one good game, don't override the fact that you had players like Ziggy Hood and Sylvester Williams outplaying these guys. I can understand the Saints going to more of the young guy approach, but if you're a Super Bowl team, and Swade, I want you to chime in on this one. If you're a Super Bowl team and you need, if you're trying to make the Super Bowl, you got a quarterback that's 40 years old, possibly on his last year. What do you rather have in the backup defensive lineman? You have young guys or guys or veterans that have been there before that can contribute, that are disruptive. What do you think about that?
I would rather have veterans, proven veterans on that line that I already know that can handle their business. Because it's a Super Bowl or a bust year, and nothing more, nothing less, and that's pretty much it. I'm not really, you know what? As I look at it, I'm very confident in the starters. All our starters, I'm confident in. It's those backups that's kind of making my ass itch.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's you're gonna have a full blown rash in a minute because I don't know what they're doing here, man. Donald says Dolphins did cut Alonzo, must be looking to trade him. Okay, thank you, that Jermaine, because one of the play made. Paul says, Q, do you think how many of those will make the Saints practice squad? It'll be quite a few of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, Paul. Devontae Zigbo, Derek Kelly, Emmanuel Butler, LaJardan Humphreys. I think most of those guys make the team. The Saints pretty much have majority of their practice squad players available. They probably have a few more slots open to maybe say 2 or 3 spots for other people that are getting released from their special, from their rosters to bring over. But the bulk of the rest of these guys are pretty much you got at least 8 guys that you are practice squad ready right now. I'd be surprised if most of those guys don't end up on the practice squad. And the Saints feeling like they could stash those guys there for whatever reason. So we'll see. We'll see exactly how it happened. I wouldn't take the chance, but the Saints, man, they rolling the dice here and they rolling it big. Flex said, man, it's like the Saints want to lose. Damn. Flex let's see how it all roll out, Flex. Let's see how it all roll out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how it roll out because the day is still young and we still got tomorrow and we still got a week or so before the first preparations coming on. A lot of stuff still happening, A lot of stuff is still going to go on. I mean, in terms of the cuts are done, but we still can sign some people from other squads to come in here and contribute. So we'll see exactly what's out there. And possible trades as well. So it's a lot to be discussed. So don't be too down on it, Flex. Flex said, come on, Sean Payton. DeQuan said, with all those unbelievable cuts happening, it is possible the Saints are waiting for players like Kenny Stills or Dez asking from Dallas. Suede says yes on Dez. I don't know too much about Kenny Stills. I know Kenny Stills is a guy Kenny Stills was here before. And the Saints, remember Kenny Stills was here before and was playing well for the Saints before. And the Saints got rid of Kenny Stills. They got rid of him before he was the activist that he turned out to be in Miami. And he wasn't activating nothing here but a bunch of problems. And here, he was drafted by the Saints. So I don't know if Kenny Stills, I'm not saying that just because he was drafted, he was pretty good here. So, I mean, it could be. The Saints could be opening up a spot because they did keep.
Last time we brought somebody back that left, it was Robert Meacham. And he was not the same.
Well, I mean, they did several players, though. They did Jari Evans. They did Jermaine Bushright.
That's on the line. There's a receiver. There you go.
Okay.
Keep it in.
All right, and let's see. It says Donald says can't keep everyone. Don't freak out, Saints fans. LOL. Chad says LaJordan Humphrey not making it most disappointing for me. He looked like a gamer. He did. Chad is interesting, but he didn't make it. See what the Saints gonna do with that. Donald says they may see better players from other teams cut. I agree with you, Donald. David Jackson, who that? What it do, Big Q? Sorry, fam, for late. It's okay, buddy. School says we only have 2 tight ends now. Yes. Devin Cook says some of these have to be hitting practice squad. Yes, no doubt. At least 8 of them has got to hit that. Shannon says someone had me the beach. Okay, Shannon got to. I don't get that with Shannon, but okay. Someone had me the beach.
Someone had me the beach. Try to go on vacation.
Okay. Verlin says my thoughts on the depth chart also Big Q. Sugar honey iced tea. This feels damn tankish. All right. Garrett says Carl Granderson had been reinstated. JT, who that baby? Who that Q? The Saints have eyes on some other offensive line. They got to. I mean, you remember we talked. I mean, good grief. I mean, good grief. I mean, you listen to the show, man. You be thinking like we have crystal ball or something. It's like, and it goes back, and it's like, man, damn, how you picked that? How you knew? Like we called it. We talked about like it was several strange circumstances. Like we talked about when somebody got released, and then the guy got released right behind him, and one of the family members, I think it was Dada, said, "Well, Q, you called that." And I said, well, I ain't tooting my own horn, but it's not hard. It's not hard to look at the football and, look at football and see how things go, to understand how it works. I mean, seriously, I know this team. I know the coach. I know how they operate, and I'm familiar with the game. So if that's the case, then what happens here is I know Sean Payton has a propensity to look around. That's how he found Sammy Cobbs Jr. the first time when he pulled him off the practice squad from Washington, I think it was. So, I mean, he was a good gamer. He was a gamer. So, don't get it twisted. It could be very – let me just put that out here. Just for the family to understand. That's where you can listen to. I'm going to tell you something. This could very well be one of those situations where the Saints can find talent that's better than the talent that we have. I mean, there are 30-something other teams out there with practice squad players or players that's going to be released that are probably going to be as good or better than some of the talent that we had on our team. There's a guy that you're not aware of that's possibly the same size, a little bit faster, and a better catcher of the ball than Emmanuel Butler. You're just not aware of him.
They might be going to get Jesse James.
You never know. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's a million different variables. It could be. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's a million different things going on right here. Where the Saints are not just paying attention to their practice squad and their players, but they're looking at 31 other teams' players around here and saying that this guy's. We charted this guy for the draft before the draft going. He's released. Let's go get him.
Right, but they just shorted it to 53 on the roster. They can't get nobody else.
They still have slots open though. They got it down to a degree. We're gonna go through it and count it all down and see what's going on. But I'm still thinking that there could be a trade or two, something else going on here. Somebody can get released again, like to sign for another player. So we're gonna see how this goes. I still don't think it's done.
The counter positions that they have available, and then we can probably kind of gauge and see, and make predictions of who they're gonna get and pick up. That'll be a good idea.
Okay, let's look at that. Let's do what Sway said. The list, I'm going to run it down again, family, for the list for those who missed it. And we're going to jump back into your questions, concerns, and comments. Okay, now you look at the starters now. Okay, we got Michael Thomas. You count. Mike Thomas, Ted Ginn. All right, Keith Kirkwood, Traquan Smith, Deontay Harris, Austin Carr, Teron Armstead, Andrew Pete, Eric McCoy, Larry Warford, Ryan Ramsek. Let's go to Nick Easton.
12.
Let's see who else is Will Clapp.
13.
Patrick Omame.
14.
All right, and then there is Jared Cook,
15.
Josh Hill,
16.
Drew Brees,
17.
Teddy Bridgewater,
18.
Taysom Hill,
19.
Elvin Kamara, Latavius Murray,
21.
Dwayne Washington,
22.
Zach Line.
23.
Here go to defense: Cam Jordan,
24.
Sheldon Rankins,
25.
Malcolm Brown,
26.
Marcus Davenport,
27.
Wes Horton,
28.
David Onyemata,
29.
Taylor Stallworth,
30.
Trey Hendrickson,
31.
Mario Edwards,
32.
Shai Tuttle,
33.
AJ Klein,
34.
Alex Anzalone,
35.
Demario Davis,
36.
Vince Bigel,
37.
Caden Ellis,
38.
Eli Apple,
39.
Marshawn Lattimore,
40.
Von Bell,
41.
Marcus Williams,
42.
PJ Williams,
53. Oh,
Chauncey.
44. Go ahead. Chauncey, 44.
okay, Chris Banjo. No. Chris Banjo's cut. Patrick Robinson,
45.
Ken Crawley,
46.
JT Gray,
47.
Saquon Hampton,
48.
Justin Hardy.
49.
Okay, and did I give you P Rob? I gave you P. Yeah, I gave you P Rob. All right, so
45.
okay, no, I did give you Patrick Robinson.
Okay. 46. Go ahead.
46. Morstead, Lutz, and Zach Wood.
49.
Okay, so there you go.
Full left.
Okay, so there you go. Went through the entire active roster, just ran it down for the family, everybody that's on the team. Hope you caught that musical rendition of us running around the
30.
So, how many is this way?
Full left.
Okay, so there's 4 active spots left that they could fill for the active roster after cutting all the cuts. So I hope you guys enjoyed that musical rendition
And so
of us
that
running
means
that.
now you still have that receiver position. I think needs to be filled. Definitely you need that damn backup cornerback. You definitely want to have your another running back. No, you don't need a running back. Tight end. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
A tight end and maybe offensive line.
Okay. That's what he says. He gave you his list. Let's go down with the family saying who that Big Q, the Saints have eyes on some other offensive linemen. Thank you, JT. Who that Amadi says, what we going to do about backup left tackle? Lord, they let all the tackles go. Just ran down the list to your family. And usually they're going to find a decent offensive lineman on the free agent. They have 4 spots like we just counted down. So they'll be able to find somebody that can come in and help them. But the only problem with that is, Wade, is not having, like you had some of these offensive linemen that you had in practice, right? And you had during the camp. Now, with those men gone, with those guys gone, what does that mean? You have to bring in a guy off the street, and he don't know jack squat about your scheme or nothing. He got to learn all over again. That's the only problem I have with doing it that way. Even though you might bring in a better talented player, but he knows do the squat about it, and if something happens, you're going to put that guy in there to protect Drew's blind side? It's not going to happen. You know what the Saints are going to do when they need somebody? If Teron Armstead gets hurt, God forbid, you know what they're going to do? They're going to kick Andrew Pete's ass out there to left tackle and bring Nick Easton in his old position.
Moving me around.
Oh, that's the go-to move. The Sean Payton two-step.
Yeah.
The Sean Payton. The Sean Payton go ahead, Sway. The Sean Payton two-step, while I talk about it, Sway's demonstrating the Sean Payton two-step.
That's all I do. I always ask this man to do something else. Say that,
The Sean Payton two-step family is him. If something happened to Terron Armstead, he kicks Andrews Pete out the left tackle. And people saying, oh, Andrews Pete's garbage. I keep telling people I had to go through the whole spiel. Virgil, don't make me go jump, make me talk about it again. But it just showing you more of the same. Anyway, SC Scoop said teams. Chad said, any chance we trade for a backup left tackle instead of sliding Pete out when Armstead goes down? Chad knows too. I mean, it's the same thing we talk about. I don't think so, Chad, because you can't find a better offensive lineman to replace Terron Armstead if something happens beside Andrews Pete. Come on now. Is there anybody out there that's better than Andrews Pete at playing the tackle position that's been on the Saints team for at least 4 years, who knows the system? Anybody else you bring in is going to be just a total new guy. That's why I'm really surprised by it. At least Michael Ola should have been retained. Was nothing wrong with him. He was serviceable. He could have played that position. I don't know. Michael Ola could have stayed. If you didn't like Marshall Newhouse, simply Michael Ola could have been a better option for you. Come on now. But now you're going to go to the wire and see if you can find somebody else. Good luck with that. Good luck. Jerome says, who the third tight end? I thought Derby was cut yesterday. Derby's gone. Alizé Mack's gone. Yeah, you don't have a third tight end currently, and obviously they're going to look to the free agency wire and see if they can bring in a guy before the first week of the play. So, he's a practice squad player. But when before the cuts, remember these cuts ain't come at the same time. We got the news about Dan Arnold being AJ Derby cut yesterday. Then we got the news about Dan Arnold, Alizé Mack, Dan Arnold getting cut first. Then Alizé Mack's cut news came in later on. So you would think, okay, Derby's gone. Dan Arnold made enough to get up. Then you hear he was cut. Then you say, oh, they must like Alizé Mack. Then it came out Alizé Mack's cut. So they ain't like none of these guys. Practice squad, obviously for either Dan Arnold or Alizé Mack, or if not both. And hey, man, what can I tell you? I don't know. But the question is, you keep Dan Arnold's ass despite the fact that he dropped the touchdown pass in an NFC Championship game last year. Go through him this entire offseason. And then get into preseason when he started balling to cut him. I mean, it's absolutely his back ass, man. It's back ass. I don't get the logic. David Jackson, who that? Since you updated them cut list, they MF tripping, right? I mean, it don't make sense to me, bro. It don't make sense to me, David. I don't know. It don't make any sense. Only thing I can say is they are looking at other players that are more talented than the players they have. And I want to know who the hell is. With the way Devine Zigbo cut up and he played for him, what the hell? Who do you have that's better than that? Unless they're looking at LaShawn McCoy. Could they possibly could they be looking at these guys? Seriously. LaShawn McCoy on the Saints team. Now that you know that Devine Zigbo is not going to make it. Or maybe the Saints just opted to keep 3 running backs. Is it a possibility? All things are open right now, I'm telling you.
I don't like Buffalo players except
okay. Well, Dad, I got you right on that one.
You have those names. When you put those names on the roster, it sounds like a Super Bowl team.
Let's see what they do, man. It's going to be in it. Lloyd says, who that, Lloyd? He says, if you played in the 4th preseason game and you were up for cutting, if you were available, you were on the sideline, okay? Jermaine says, what up, fam? Who that? Q, what up, Jermaine? Who that to you, baby? Shannon says, they should have cut Tre'Quan Smith. Not gonna cut him, bro. They still believe in him. They gonna give him at least one more year. It's called. It's the what's the guy named?
Wasn't he the pass interference from the Rams, dude?
No, that was Tommy Lee Lewis. Tommy Lee. Okay, and they said Justin says Granderson ineligible, active, and counts on 53 without an exemption. Someone count the players and see. LOL. Okay, Granderson he's saying ineligible, active, and counts on the 53-man roster. I'm gonna have to do some research on that, Justin. But I wouldn't be surprised. Chad says you can never have enough pass rushers, but I don't think we have enough to get a Super Bowl. We should be fine, barring the fact that Davenport plays the entire season. I mean, regular and postseason. So does Cam Jordan. But you still Trey Hendrickson, if he's healthy, that could be a fine. But there's problems here because you have Wes Horton there, and I haven't seen enough from Wes Horton to say that he's going to give you anything. Trey Hendrickson started stepping up later on, but can he stay healthy? The question is, can Davenport and Trey Hendrickson stay healthy and contribute on that level? I mean, that's the questions. If they can't, then the Saints going to struggle mightily. Chad says, mightily. You heard me. Chad said, you never have enough. Oh, I just read that. Paul says his Zigbo fumbling tendencies may have been a concern to the Saints. Possibly, Paul. You know, I ain't seen too many mistakes out of Dividing Zigbo. He only had that one fumble. But he's done more plus than minus, but maybe the minus was enough to get him up out of here. The DQ the Jew, what's happening, family? He said, why is Carr here? Because he was the more stable. He was the more consistent of the bunch. He plays special teams. He's a young veteran. He blocks. He catches every damn thing you throw to him. And guess what his best ability is? Availability. He didn't miss any time like Emmanuel Butler did. This is what I'm saying about it. We talked about this. How the fact that nobody was talking about Austin Carr. And we kept saying, listen, family. Listen, Austin Carr. Remember? I'm telling you. Roscoe says, other than our team, who got cut that may be worth picking up? Interesting point. I was looking at some of the. I don't know what's going on with my computer today.
I think it's all computers all around.
Yeah, we had some issues this morning with the computer. I had to basically all kind of craziness, but I'm determined, family. I ain't gonna let a Falcon fan hack me and try to take me out of it. Let's see. But Justin says, Clap, Easton. I'm gonna get to that question, Roscoe. Give me a minute. I'm gonna let my computer refresh, and then I'm gonna try to get you up to date. Salud LaShawn McCord is one of them. I know Jadeveon Clowney is supposed to be signing his tender so he can get traded to Seattle. That's big news as well because we got to play them later on. But there are other news sites. We'll see what's going on as well. Justin says Clap, Easton, and Patrick Omame all made it. Yes, they did. Clap, Easton, and Omame are all on the team occurring to the latest cuts. And it's just absolutely insane, man, to be honest with you, of some of the stuff that's been going on with the Saints. JT, third tight end on another team. Yes, right. We don't have a third tight end as it stands right now, JT. They cut all the tight ends. Remember, Garrett Griffin was placed on IR last week. They released Alizé Mack and Dan Arnold today. So that where that goes. And it's just more of the same, man. Vernon says Humphreys, Butler, I was sure they would keep. They're the closest to the frame of Colston, which I thought would aid 2-foot shorty breezes. Griffin may be getting stashed on IR. Yeah, Griffin was already placed on the IR. He hurt his he hurt himself in the last game. Not the last game, the game before last, and had to be helped off the field. He was placed on IR last week. So Garrett Griffin is out on IR already. Dan Griffin and Alizé Mack are cut. So you don't have a third tight end. We have to wait and see what they do with that. David says, I'm shocked about Emmanuel and LaJordan at depth at wideout. Robert says tight end pick up somewhere. Revolt says we're going with the same receiver core from last year that couldn't beat man-to-man coverage outside of Thomas again. Where's Dez? Yeah, that's Wade chiming in. Ask for Dez. Okay, Keonta Venable says, who that to you, Keontae? He says, Humphrey got cut. What the F? He had a few flash plays in preseason. They got cut. Emmanuel Butler, Humphrey, all cut, brother. Jerome says, what about the defense end that went to jail? Carl Granderson, man, that is a question. I got to check. I'm checking on that Carl Granderson thing. I heard what Chad said about him being available on the team, but he's not listed on the. Well, this is an unofficial depth chart, by the way. But just to be honest with you, I wouldn't put Carl Granderson in this mixture. I wouldn't, because it's just right now he just got out of jail. I don't know if it'd be good PR for him to put him there. That's why I think Wes Horton's here. If Carl Granderson would have made team, might not have needed Wes Horton. I think Wes Horton is here because the guy ain't on team. Granderson's not on team. So you got to remember, Wes Horton made this team, family. A lot of people not talking about that. Shai Tuttle made the team, but Wes Horton made the team, okay? Wes Horton. Look him up. Scoop says back to echoing again. All right, let's see what you're. All right, top waiver MLK says who that to you, family? Says Sean Payton finna go get LaShawn McCoy. Here you go, family. The family chiming in and they saying McCoy is a guy that they gonna go and get. DeQuan says McCoy's headed to Kansas City for a visit. I don't know if the Saints are on the list, but they have a spot open. Possibly. Let's let all LaShawn McCoy flat kick off. We don't want Kansas City to get him, by the way. That's too nasty to have all those weapons out there. Sean Payton got to be looking at him. Hopefully he's looking at him. Roscoe says, why couldn't they put some of our cuts in the... you got cut off there, Roscoe. You got cut up. You can answer that question again there, buddy. Let's see. Hold on. It just scrolled on me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get as many of them as I can,
That's all right. Let's go. We about to do it, baby.
All right, let's see.
They want LaShawn McCoy. They want Shady up in the building. They want the Shady, the three-headed monster. You gonna have Kamara, Shady, and Le'Veon. What is it? Latavius Bell. No, Latavius Murray.
Jason says, okay, JT, okay, y'all remember when we were like team from the small school players? Yep. Jason says, Steels ain't coming back, drama queen. Roscoe says, Ziggy will make the Browns roster and will be a rookie MVP. Shannon says, bleach my bad. Okay, I got you, Shannon. Okay, appreciate it. Roscoe says, watch and see. Paul says, Teddy Bridgewater to the Colts. What y'all think about that? We asked that question, Paul. And as a matter of fact, I was going to read the on this show, this live stream, toward the tail and all the comments.
Hold on, I'm sorry, brother.
Yes, sir.
So, Colts won one of our quarterbacks. Would you give him Teddy Bridgewater or would you give him Taysom Hill? Talk that shit. Nah. Roll with it. Nah.
Why that, Sway?
What you mean, why that? Everybody's saying Bridgewater better quarterback. All right, then. All right, give him Taysom Hill and stick with Teddy Bridgewater.
I just don't understand.
Why not? What you mean?
I'm saying I just don't. I don't think you. At first, I mean, I've asked this question to the family, and boy, what is it? A blow up? I mean, this was like a really hot question, and of course, that's what I was going to do. Name the replies to that question on the show and put the family members out there. And of course, this was done. I think it was in the. I forget what show it was. I think it was show either 420 with New Orleans.
All right then. Well, keep Teddy Bridgewater and give the Colts Taysom Hill.
I don't think the Saints gonna. Why would you give up your gadget playbook? That's basically what you're doing to give them up.
Because I mean, you're all Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. We asked this question 4 days ago. This is TSC question of the day. Not what your question is, by the way. But it was within the question was, will QB Andrew Luck retiring if the Colts offered you a second or third round pick for backup QB Bridgewater, would you pull the trigger on the deal? And Sway said he'd be gone. Now I asked the question and got 47 comments from it, so it was a hot button question. I was going to read these comments toward the tail end of the show today. So let's see what the family members have to say just on this question momentarily. Let me get through the rest of these right quick. Flex Squad says, let's see. Flex Squad says, if Butler, Humphrey, and Ezigbo all sign with the Dirty Birds, what if? That'll be. Oh man, them against our cornerbacks like the third and fourth. Oh, jeez. Roscoe says, sorry for all the unfinished typos. I'm on my herbal meds. Take your time, Roscoe. It's all good. Ted to Colt would be great. So he agreeing with you. Roscoe would pack up Teddy and send him to the Colts. Devin says, pass rush, I hope they're looking for it. Robert says, we need an offensive swing tackle badly. You got one, Robert. It's called Andrews Pete. That's your swing tackle. When anything bad happens, you swing Andrews Pete out to left tackle. Because you know where he ain't gonna be swinging to the right tackle. It's only one place he's gonna swing to, and that's gonna be he gonna swing outside to wherever Terry Armstead, because you know it's coming. I hate to put it on him, but he hadn't done it in a long time. Stayed healthy for an entire season, and they moved Nick Eason right in that guard position, and it's just sad. We're gonna see how it goes. Hope they don't do that though. Roscoe says the Dirty Bird can have our sloppy seconds. Dada says Saints know what they're doing. Remember, Taysom Hill didn't get here until after the last cuts. School says Dada way
Wade Star. Robert Clark says Army Swiss Knife can play tight end. He can, but another job for Taysom Hill to do? Another job?
He can do it too.
Yeah, he can do it. Dave said, true that, big facts. Willie, who that, Willie? He said, Q, what about Dapper Dan? What about Dapper Dan? Dan Arnold? Cut like a joint. Gone. Just excommunicated from the Saints organization. Gone. He done deal. And if you ask me, it should have been done right after the Super Bowl. He should have got out of here, but they wait for him to come back to cut him. I just don't understand that part. Paul said Ronaldo Turnbull was trash. 1 Pro Bowl got paid and 0 from the minute on. I mean, he was pretty.
Wish he looked like me.
Dada says, "School, what up, bro? Top waiver, not true. Traquan and Harris can run. Not true. Traquan and Harris can run. Devin says Pete would be Pro Bowl if he stayed at guard. I agree with you. I've been chanting at them guys, and all my family on the stream know I've been saying that for some time about Andrews Pete. He came close to it 2 or 3 years ago when they had an opportunity. They just leave him the hell alone at guard. He would have been a perennial Pro Bowl. I'm just telling you, that's how good he is. But they got to kick him out there and mess with his development. Robert says Pete is a gladiator, no doubt about it. Jerome says Pete better than Newhouse, no doubt about it. Even playing Newhouse position. Remember, Pete played tackle at Stanford, left tackle. The Saints played him at left tackle, right guard, left guard. And what Andrews Pete do? Line him up and play. He don't complain. You better pay him when the time comes. Lloyd says Ramczyk should play left tackle, and then you play Omar at right tackle. Can Omar play right tackle, Lloyd? I know he was a guard. I didn't know he could play tackle too. I know he got extensive amounts of playing time with the Giants. We'll see about that. Jason says Andrews Pete is my guy. Taysom Hill of the O-line at Pay That Man. Paul says, thank y'all for the roster rundown. Thank you, Paul. David says, during the preseason, how many holding penalties they suffered before these cuts. Paul says, Jonathan Stinchcomb was trash. I agree. Dave Jackson, I was that. LaShawn McCoy possibilities too. Yep. Jason says Dan Arnold is the Ken Crawley of tight ends. Changed my mind. Lloyd says Zigbo will be on the practice squad. They only carried 3 last year. Very true. Roscoe says how refs officials from last year made the cut for 2019. I don't know, Roscoe. Good point. Chad says Zach Zenner available too. Zenner is a big brute. I don't know if they go after him. Devin says I hope the picture come clear in the next few days. It will. David says Jason cutting up, but he right though. Roscoe. David says true that, Devin. JT family, y'all keep forgetting we are a top team in the NFL and the number 1 in my heart. JT, we the top squad. Good.
Up, JT.
Appreciate that, JT. Hemisphere says Josh Martin placed on IR. That's correct. Rob says Austin Cole will not drop touchdown passes. Very true. He catches everything you throw to him. Scoop says exactly. Thank you, Adrian, for posting out the links. Roscoe says Tony, who that? Tony, what's happening, baby? What happened to Chris Banjo? He was cut today to let you know. David Jackson says, unless they're sending subliminal news to the media and messing up our heads. Gary says Granderson will not count for 2 weeks. So that's something. Watching out for Granderson is another thing we got to keep an eye out. Checking out for them McCoy possibilities too. Keep an eye on that. Shannon says Colts can get Taysom. Tell him kick rocks.
No, man, y'all crazy.
Shannon said tell him kick rocks. Hemisphere says Bleacher Report is reporting Saints are interested in bringing Kenny Stills back to New Orleans. That's according to the Bleacher Report. We'll monitor that. Thank you for that, Hemisphere. Willie, who that Willie says Bridgewater got go keep T. He said Bridgewater got to go. Keep T Hill. Bridgewater is pool.
There you go, Teddy Pooh.
Willie is agreeing with Jason Kidd. Jason King says, man, I would trade Bridge over troubled water for a second to Indy with the quickness. Thank you, Jason. Ahmad says they need to get Deontay Jones, good rotation guy, let Wes Horton go. I like Deontay Jones too, very productive guy, and I think he would be a good addition to the team. But I don't know the Saints. I think Wes Horton is just a holding a position until Carl Granderson make a move. We'll see how that looks. They need to get. Let's see. Davis says I would keep 2 future successors after depth each other. B. Chris, what's happening? B. Who that? He said I need more O-line depth. That's the only way to win the chip. Real talk. Breeze needs protection. Thank you, B. David says no 3rd round pick. Not interested. Chad says Pat's cut Demaryius Thomas today. He had a great possession game after the night. Raquel Hardy, who that to you, Raquel? How you doing? Says I read Damaris was a shell of his former self, no separation at all. He's just a possession guy with no speed right now. So I mean, it's just with Damaris. Damaris was never a speedster. He was always pretty much a big possession wide receiver. You know, his hands ain't going nowhere. You know, he just no separation. He got to physical you out the way. You know what I'm saying? Move and just brutalize you. You know, like smaller cornerbacks play those big bulking wide receivers like Damaris. Damaris going to push and he's going to attack the ball at the highest point. He's a good red zone threat, I'll tell you that much. Lloyd says, yes, he played RT at all preseason. Davis says, but your partner right. It would be to make the AFC South AFC Championship game interesting if Hill was versus Brady. Robert Clark said, we played the Colts this year, would not want to have Bridgewater on the other side. Roscoe says, I like your boy hat. Where he get it? You want to know where you get the hat from?
Oh, man, I got this. You know what, actually? Promotion to the Black and Gold shop on Metairie. They got this. They got the Saints bucket hats over there, man. Right by that little grocery store. I can't remember the name of the little grocery store. So that's a slight plug for them boys. Y'all welcome. Thank you, sir.
All right, there you go. What's up, Young Bloods 46? What's good, baby? He said, what up, Q? The only player I'm worried that won't clear waivers is Zeke Bowl. I think Butler and LeJohn will clear waivers easily. Demi says, Q, do you think players on the practice squad get paid? Yes, they do, Demi. They get a salary as well on the practice squad.
So more than the regular work in the street.
Oh yeah, they're making more than $56,000. Most of the practice squad players make decent money as well. Backups still making over $250,000 a season to play football, and they're saying it's a year, which is really not a year. It's less than a year, but you know, it's money playing a children's sport. You can't, imagine that. Imagine if they was playing you millions of dollars to shoot marbles, because it was the National Marbles League, and then you was the best marble shooter in the league, and they was paying you $1 million. Well, the New Orleans Marble Masters wanted to sign Demi, who's the greatest marble shooter in the game, and he was paying you, we're going to sign you for $5 million to shoot your marbles. You know, it's a children's game. You know, like my analogy?
I'm with you, cuz.
Are you showing that face, man? You ain't like my marble analogy?
$2 million to shoot the best marbler. That's a new word. Look that up. Google marbler. To shoot your marbles. I got you. I'm right here with you.
You get the message, Demi. You know, it's a child's game is what I'm saying. It's a child's game, and that's what I'm saying.
Getting paid to do something that you love.
I mean, it's
from childhood.
There you go. Who that? Jeremy says, who that, baby? Jason says, okay. Roscoe said, thanks, Quincy. What up, Quincy? In the building. What's good, baby? He said, what's going on, Big Q? Who that to you, family? And Paul says Crawley must be some kin to Antonio Gibson. He got something on the coach. He got whatever. I tell you what it is, Paul. Is whatever Tommy Lee had, he shared it with Ken Crawley, not Ken Crawley got it all off.
What's the former coach for the Bengals, the one they just let go? That dude who was coaching for years and ain't winning nothing but 3 playoff games, maybe 2.
Oh man!
Still coaching. He coached for like since 2000.
He went to the Browns. Well, no.
I think he just went to the office of the Bengals. He didn't even get fired. He just went to the office.
You talking about the coach? That's a shame. I can't even remember his name. I can see his face there. I just can't remember his name.
I can see his face.
See his face. He was on being an analyst on television. They're gonna know who it is.
But anyway, it's just like him. I think he had something on the owner of the Bengals, because this dude couldn't win nothing.
Yeah.
He had maybe like 4 winning seasons out of 13, 15 years.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane, man, to be honest with you. And Roscoe
Marvin Lewis. There you go.
See, I told you, Marvin Lewis. Thank you, Donald. Who that to you? Roscoe says, Q, will you go live on game day? Yes, I will be live pre-game and post-game, live from a different location. But yes, we will be going live on YouTube for the game, family. Robert says, need to tell Sean Payton to pick up at least 2 or 3 3 T's, Hill, and it's anything, Robert's thing. Willis says Marvin Lewis, all the guys chiming in. Thank you. There you go. From the Bungles. So yeah, family, a few things, man, going on there. But just to recap and go a few things, I didn't see much on the list of players that's, besides the LaShawn McCoys of the world. And we're going to go over a few here just to let you know what's possible, what the Saints could be possibly looking at in the in terms of who was released that actually have names, and it's a lot of them, man.
Number one marble.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Hey,
I'll tell you, they got professional. They got to have professional
marblers?
marvelous.
I don't know why it's killing me. That's killing me. That's funny.
You didn't like
I
the.
loved it, man.
But what about the New Orleans, the New Orleans
What?
franchise, the New Orleans Marble Masters?
Marble Masters.
Yeah, the
That
New-
sounds good, man.
But and that's what you are if you play for the Marble League.
number
You're
one marbler.
So if somebody asks you and they say, "Well, what you do for a living?" You tell them, "I'm a professional marbler."
I'm a professional marbler. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you for the MFL.
Hey, bro, I was trying to make an
The
analogy, man.
MF. The NML.
What's it stand for?
National Marble League.
There you go. There you go. Now you got it.
I got you, bro.
There you go. There you go.
They say it exists somewhere.
There you go.
I'm about to Google that for y'all,
But let's see. They had a few. Man, there's so many of them out here to name, family, to talk about that were released. Man, it was a lot of them. But you can go to ESPN, go to the NFL section. They got a whole list of people, man. I mean, there's a ton of them that would be released, but none of major significance. You had a few guys. You talk about the bigger names like the LaShawn McCoys of the world. You talked about Deshaun Pfizer and a few other Kaiser, excuse me, and a few other guys that were released. And then you heard about Deontay Jones, who was with Jacksonville. That might be an interesting pickup as well. So we got to go over this list and see exactly who could help the Saints. And I'm pretty sure the Saints are looking at possibly bringing in some of these guys if they freed up at least 4 spots. They can add talent from other teams that might provide an upgrade over what they currently have. So I don't know, man. It's looking pretty interesting here, to say the least. So we'll keep on it, family, and see exactly what's happening. But it does provide a very, very interesting aspect to what's going on, don't you think? So I mean, that's really big. But anyway, let's see.
We're back.
Roscoe says, when Sean made those cuts, what gum brand was he chewing? I'm a superstitious person. Dada says, Demi, yeah, they get paid. Demi, yeah, they get paid. I heard as much as a one-time $10,000 to $20,000 a week. Pretty good. That's really good money if you're a major league marbler. I'll tell you what. Hey. Jason King in the trade for Teddy Bridgewater to Indian. Look what Jason says, Swade. In the trade for Bridgewater to Indy, I would include Crawley and a 2-piece spicy from Popeyes.
Hell yeah, that sounds good.
That's Devin says I would play punt return and kick returner with no knees for that kind of money. I'll tell you, them guys sit up there and they complain. Could you like a nincompoop like Antonio Brown talking about he won't play for a helmet? See, that's when you lost touch with reality and you need a Saint slap to come back down to earth. You're getting paid $15 to $19 million to play in the children's game in 4 or 5 years, and I know the man good at what he do. But you a touch out of reality when you make it $20 million a year, and they still got people busting their butts making anywhere between $30,000 to $70,000 a year, $80,000 a year, and you got some people at $120-something thousand a year, and they're still dealing with taxes, and they still going paycheck to paycheck. If truth be told, if you're a guy that were able to make that kind of money, you should pull out the duration of your one contract and you should be straight for the rest of your life. You don't have to sit up there and risk taking hits or concussions anymore. Truth be told, with that kind of money, you could start your own professional league, to be honest with you. And maybe they could start a professional marble league, and have the New Come on, Mike. Get the New Orleans chapter of the National Marblers. Let's see. Paul says Hugh Jackson can't keep a head coach's job. He never will, Paul. He a done deal. And he probably surface again. You know how the league is. They like regurgitating those old fellas. Shanda say they need to bring back Tom Savage. TBH. Yeah, Tom Savage. All right, family. Now let's get to the section let's see, maybe what was it? About 3 or 4 shows ago, back in Sports Coma, episode 418, which the Sheldon Rankins activated Granderson out of jail and more show, the Sports Coma question of the day at that time, which about 4 days ago, was asked, will QB Andrew Luck return if the Colts offered you a second or third round pick for a backup QB, which was Teddy Bridgewater? Would you pull the deal, the trigger on the deal? Meaning that if the Colts offered you a 2 or 3 for Bridgewater, if you was the Saints and you was in the position of, say, Mickey Loomis or a person there, would you indeed take that move? Well, we had 47 replies from that question from the family, as they wanted to. They chimed in on it and they answered it. 47 people, and let me read. And I told them that, chime in, and I'm gonna read it on the next live stream. Well, guess what? This is the next live stream, and I'm reading it. So let's go over it and read some of the replies from the guys. The first up is Donovan Grayson, who said, I'll trade him in a heartbeat for a second round pick, but they won't give up that high of a pick. Taysom has been impressive and Teddy has struggled. Okay, and of course Shandon, who that to Shandon, he replied, he said, Donovan Grayson, Teddy hasn't really struggled as much as people think. Did you see how many balls there were dropped in the Jets game? True indeed. Lloyd says Taysom plays against the threes and Teddy plays against the two. Bad left tackles, drop balls in every game. Teddy will start at 2 and Taysom is too valuable as the gadget man. Shandon says, plus Teddy played against the ones for almost the entire half before they were taken out. Okay, the one said, don't trade Teddy. Taysom has shown his flashes and proven to move the offense, but he still needs a lot more accurate from the pocket. Taysom or Teddy, it's hard to say right now. I would have loved to see Taysom against the ones, but hey, this might sound crazy. I would love to see the Saints trade Andrews Pete along with Butler or Humphrey or maybe some picks. Heck, you throw in a running back for the Texans, Clowney. Man, Davenport looks to still learning, even though he can be one of the man one day. I say if we are in win mode now with Drew, hell, go out and get him. Clowney and Cam and Rankins, just a monster at the D-line. Hopes and dreams. Well, of course, that didn't happen. Butler and Humphrey was released. Andrews Pete's not going anywhere. And Clowney is signing a tender to get traded to Seattle. So there it is. 985J, who that to the fam. He says, I'll trade Teddy so fast you would never thought he was here. The bigs up. Demi replied on it. She said, I'll trade Dan Arnold for sure. We'll trade him for nothing. But seriously, I would keep Teddy. Thank you, Demi, for that. Elite Goods, who that to the family, said, would I trade Teddy for a second or third? He said, we can take a second. What if it's a third? We need a player as well. Yep. Thank you. That Soldier for God 77 says, nope, Teddy is a good QB. I'll keep him. Eddie Dixon, who that? He said, I would take it extra draft pick, add to that group that we have. It's a win for us. Thank you. Alan Sider says, yes, if Sean Payton, don't see him as our future, but in my heart, he'll hell no to no. Hell no to the no. He went back to the blue side.
Teddy Bridgewater talking about he's still good. That's the same people that believed in Jim Everett when he came here. He was good with the Rams. He was awesome. But when he got here, he was not the Jim Everett that we got our ass kicked by.
Yeah, the Jim Everett, yeah. It was definitely a difference. It was a different system. He wasn't comfortable there.
A different what?
System. Oh. All right, Tyreek Gray.
See, I'm ready.
Okay. Tyreek Gray, who that? Trade Teddy for picks and then use those picks to get Kenny Stills. Thank you, that Tyreek. Dada says, I will keep him if it's not 2 seconds. If it's not 2 seconds, I wouldn't even entertain the offer. You either pay what I want or hell with you. Thank you, that Dada, for that, baby. And then we had a couple of people agree with him. Jerome says, yes, I could swipe first rounders. Yes, if I could swipe first rounders, I'll do it. Thank you, Jerome. Christopher Messi, who that to? He said, heck no, TB has more potential than he gets credit. He's by far the best backup in the league. Could start for 20 teams right now. Thank you, Christopher. Jamie, Saints fans, who that to him, says trade QBs, Teddy for Jacoby, and get a third-round pick if the Colts are desperate enough, meaning they need an established starting QB to start the regular season. I see this as a fair deal for both parties. Appreciate it.
Get Kaepernick.
Scoob says, I personally feel like we are not in a position to win any trade negotiations for TB unless we catch a desperate team or bona fide suckers. His trade value is reasonably low, and it just makes more sense to have him as an insurance behind 9 than it to get the shaft. Besides, all that's going to do. Besides, who's going to do the chopper style moves like Teddy?
That's all he do.
Sean D says, "Oh, you already know, Q. I know Sean. Sean, the one that gave me the idea for the question. Big Ben Smith, who that to you? Said I wouldn't trade Teddy. We have the best backup QBs in the league now. We don't need second or third pick for the next season. We're in win now mode. Hill is a great all around player, but who do we have if Teddy goes? Nobody. That's what Big Ben says. Trail Hatch, who that to you? Trail, he says, I'm holding ransoms. I'm holding ransoms. I want first or second round pick, or at least a third and fifth pick with a cornerback. So if I can trade those picks to Houston for Clowney. Okay, I got you there, Trail. Appreciate it. Dominic Huda, he says Teddy can go for a second round pick. Sean says, D says I'll trade him for a third just to free up cap space. We need a pass rush help and maybe even linebackers. I mean, it's running down. Crass says, who that Crass? He says, in reality, Teddy doesn't have much trade value. Saints are in win now mode. He has more value to New Orleans than any other team. Why? It allows Taysom to be Taysom in this offense, special teams. Again, trade Teddy. Everything changes for Hill. Yep. Marvin Norman, who that Marvin? He says, hell no, I wouldn't trade Teddy. YO Swebs, he drew up his hands. It's like fire emblems. Okay. All right. C. Miller Daniel, who that? All day. Yes, all day. Yes, get rid of poo-poo garbage who doesn't have it between the ear canals. There you go. Roscoe says, who that Q? Sap, first of all, I already know I've taken a lot of heat for saying this, but I'm 100% sold on Taysom taking the throne after Breeze leaves. So I hope he plays till he's 50. So if I say we hang on the bridge water at least for another 1 or 2 seasons till either he's 100% or Hill learns how to be a better pocket passer. Not that I'm saying he's not, but so more convincing that it's not a fluke. You dig? As for Bridgewater goals, I still have faith in him, even though this weekend I trashed on him. But hey, I call it how I see it. Ain't no sugarcoating me.
Ain't no sugarcoat.
Secondly, I agree with you on sitting Sheldon Rankins this final preseason game and maybe even the first 2 games of the season. It's not guaranteed he's 100% healthy and ready, so no need to rush him to take that risk. To be continued. My wife is hounding me to eat dinner. Who that? Who that to you, Roscoe? Thank you. Edward Green, who that? He said first, who that? Space Ghost Skidooey's perspective. He said the jury's still out. I want to see Taysom against Teddy's competition in preseason. When you are playing against the default practice squad players, of course you're going to look good. Wasn't Teddy playing against the first team defense against the Jets? I want to see Taysom play against the first teamers before making that decision. Thank you. That Space Ghost. The right one says a number 2, not a third. Okay, thank you. Brian Jarrett, who that, says hell no. A DLP 2600 said I would trade Bridgewater for a 3rd and 5th or a 6th pick. That's reasonable for starting QB. You just can't find these guys laying around. Bridgewater's still young and starter experienced. Verlin says, who that Q? I've been critical of Betty Brokewater, but we have to get back all we put into Betty. He's not like he's pure trash, so whatever it may be, we'd have to get at least 2 picks and maybe a player. They're in a tight spot, and I feel that with that situation, he'd be worth it if they push the coach. Really, who else is out there to be had? Most of the other decent backups are employed, and it's obvious their backup ain't ready. From whatever you've been hearing from Ryan T, maybe pushing Murata out. Thank you, Verlin. Sean C, who that baby? I'm not making that deal. We have the luxury of having a decent, not great backup, stable QBs. We got to win this year. God forbid Drew goes down and we only have Taysom. You got to give more than just a draft pick. And, of course, Bentley Morrison says, no trade TB. The bottom line is when you put Hill as a backup, we lose. All his special teams play and most of not all his gadget plays. Coach won't take the chance of getting number 2 QB hurt. That's about 10% of our offense. No. Thank you, Bentley Morrison. Who that to you? And that was all of the comments, man. That was read from the shows dealing with the guys on the comment. Now we're going to bounce up to the fam. And we do let the family know that the lines are open. The it had been open for about the last 15 minutes. I was just prattling on with everything that we've been getting. A lot of information pouring in here on this Cut Saturday, as it turned out to be Cut Saturday.
Some eye openers,
a lot of stuff going on.
Real surprising things going on. By the way,
go ahead, Sway, what you got?
By the way, I just want to let everybody see that this does exist. Excuse my crack phone. That does exist right there. The National Marbles Associate tournament right there. You see that? Huh? So it's not called being a marbler.
What they call it?
They call marble shooter.
I like my term better.
Marbler does have a New Orleans ring to it. You know what I'm saying?
Marbler is the same as baller.
Kind of like Turk Wash. It ain't the right, but
Marbler is the same as baller. That's basically what it is.
Baller?
No, it's the same thing. What you want? I mean, what you said the term was? They call it
marble shooter.
A marble shooter.
Yeah.
I like my term better.
I like marbler too.
Marbler is better.
It sounds good. It sounds like a New Orleans word.
All right. Okay.
Well, you ain't no marbler.
You know about New Orleans words, don't you? Don't you? Why don't you share with the family? We talk about some of the Swade's interests. We'll talk about New Orleans stuff. Swade, I have to show the family some put a slideshow together one of these days when Swade comes by, so Swade can break down some of the shirts and stuff. But Swade is a partner with a business, and they really do deal with a lot of New Orleans vernacular and traditional things. But the marbler is definitely. I might have to.
Well, there's a marbler. Somebody shoot marble.
What would you rather be called, a marble shooter or a marbler?
I'm a marbler.
That's
a marvelous marbler.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Love it. But go ahead and break down to the fam some of the stuff tied to the Maison Blanche and all the great, beautiful shirts that come from you.
BukuNola.com, fam. BukuNola.com. We mainly do throwback shirts, just like the one I have on. This is a K&B shirt. All right, throwback shirts. We also have Maison Blanche. We have AMP. We also have Eckert's. We also have some Saints shirts, Tecmo Bowl Saints and LSU shirts. But we also provide you with the New Orleans vernacular shirts, and I'll give you two of them. One of them we have is called Bochall. It's a word that people in New Orleans use, BOATCHALL, Bochall, right? Which meaning two individuals, correct? Who you talking to? I'm talking to Bochall. Right,
both of y'all. Okay, I got
Bochall.
Bochall. Okay,
I'm talking to Bochall. So and if you go online, you'll see the other shirt that's available. But just go on to BukuNola.com, BOOKOONOLA.com, and do some shopping.
That's what's up.
Tell them Swade sent you.
Tell them Swade sent you for a discount. Is that how it go?
Yeah, count this.
All right, okay. All right, Paul, I really like that. I'm pretty sure Paul remembers K&B and the rest of it.
It's the throwbacks, baby. It's the throwback. I'm going to be the number one marbler.
How you spell that, Swade?
Marbler?
No, not marbler.
What, Bochall?
No, BukuNola.
Oh, BOOKOONOLA.com.
BukuNola, baby.
Look at that boy to put on the screen. And by the way, you know what? I'm still telling y'all, look, it's nice to have Bridgewater. It's cool, man. But he is not that dude. He is not that dude. He is not the era of Drew Brees. If I was Drew Brees, I feel disrespected for y'all to think this dude not for real. Man, please.
First of all, Drew don't talk like that. He don't talk like that.
I'm disappointed in that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever how he want to talk and say it. I would feel played though.
I disagree, brother. I think if anybody gonna learn him, teach him something, it'll be Drew Brees. That's what he does. But
you know what, Jay-Z, after you retire from Rockefeller, Silk the Shocker replace you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Don't do me that. You think hold a candle?
Ain't my fault.
Huh? Oh, ain't my fault.
But there's a couple of family comments here. Paul, Jerome said, "I'll trade Bridgewater to Colts if they swap first rounders." Shandon says they need to bring back Tom Savage. Robert says, I hope we could pick up more players like T. Hill. Paul says, Bud Carlson was not out to be a head coach, but was a great defensive coordinator. Maybe Marvin Lewis or Hugh Jackson could take a hint. True. You know, Bud Carlson was a good coach. Sean says, sup family, I just saw the roster moves. I can't believe some of the names were released. Yes, Sean, we covered it in the show today, family. Who that to you to joining us here? Jason says it has to be a second. Hell nah to a third. JT says Houston just traded Tunzel and Steals. Was for Clowney? Is that what you're saying, JT? Is Tunzel and Steals for Clowney? I'm gonna have to look that up. Reply, because that's a big move that they gave up Tunzel and Steals to Houston for Jadeveon Clowney. That's big, you know. But Scoobs Jackson, Big Q, you're reading from the last show, bro? No, that was from show.
He answered them at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, he got them together.
Okay. Thank you, there, brother.
Good,
JT
cool.
gives the Texans. JT said gives Texans 2 number ones. Wow. Roscoe says Colts are screwed. Welcome to the brown bag era. Enjoy decades of 0-16 football. Yeah, until they get a quarterback and build all over again. Teal, who that? Teal, the legend in the building, original New Orleans. He says, can't wait for the draft. That's right, baby Teal. He talking about the fantasy league, the Sports Coma Fantasy League. We in the building. I'd like to thank all of the participants. 19 really fantastic Sports Coma family members joining us in the Sports Coma Fantasy League. And the draft is tomorrow at 12 o'clock, family. So please be ready. Chime in, family. I still didn't get any answer from the family how they feel about us doing the draft. I don't know about doing it live, or I haven't really thought about it. I talked to the family about it, but let me know how you guys feel about that. Roscoe says I put in for one Goodell chump sheets. Thank you, Roscoe. Man, the black one's really nice. The white one looked really nice too. A lot of people are partial to the black chump tee, and we got a lot of other good shirts. There's another one shirt coming out called the black and gold royalty shirt with a crown on it with the fleur de lis in the middle of it. Really nice shirt, man. More black and gold gear from the Sports Coma coming up. And we got some more shirts. There's another really good shirt coming out. It's a check shirt from the Sports Coma. It have on there Sports Coma. Then it got championship, Super Bowl checklist, and it has QB Hall of Fame QB check, top 5 offense check, top 10 defense check. Then they got a Super Bowl trophy at the bottom of it. Really fire shirt, man. That's coming out the following week. Got a lot of great merch coming up. I want y'all family members to check it out. D says, do we still have PJ Williams? Yes, we do still have that chump. D, excuse me. Roscoe says, do it live. Fantasy League, do it live. All right, Roscoe, we're looking to see how we can put that together, family, for the family members. So we'll take a look at that as well. So, yeah, that's some of the stuff that we pass on. Now, before we go, family, I think I got an interview that I want to play for you guys, if I can cue it up. Let's see here. Remember, y'all can feel free to call, fam. The lines, I don't know if I said this way, but the lines are open, family. So feel free, if y'all want to give us a call and ask a question, concerns, or comments about any of the moves that happened today on this live stream. Now, we're going almost into 3 hours here.
For real?
And we're at 2 hours and 43 minutes as it stands.
Wow, that went fast.
I know.
Didn't even know.
I know. Right, but that's the thing, family. Feel free to call. The number is right here. No, that's right. Here.
Right there.
Here. Yeah. It's crazy, huh?
Oh my gosh. He'll never be a professional more.
Right here.
Yeah. Right there.
You're wrong too. It's right above Swade's head.
Yeah, right here.
So you see, that's the number 504-475-4482. You can ask me questions, ask Swade questions, chime in, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let your boy know. The number is above Swade's head, 504-475-4482. Live stream, baby. You can hit us up live on screen. Any questions, concerns, or comments, you can hit the chat or call in live and let us know what you guys feel about it. A few more questions in the chat. Roscoe said the hoodies look good. Thank you, Roscoe. Tyrone, who that to you? Tyrone Jones. Hill is not ready to take over. He will hurt the team. Scoob says not for Clowney, for 2 first rounders for a second. Okay, they traded those players for picks. Well, they were looking to offset Kenny Stills anyway to send him, and Larry Tunzel, I guess it just seemed better that way. None of those teams, well, Houston, I don't know. It'll help Dallas. I mean, Houston, though, to see them guys. But Paul says, what happened to Dez Bryant? Dez Bryant is still, he says he's healthy. I don't know how true that is, but I think Dez Bryant's probably waiting somewhere into the season before he makes a call. But he says the first persons he's going to call to make a return will be the Saints organization because he has unfinished business. So we'll see how that works, Paul. We definitely keep an eye on that. Roscoe says, R62, looking forward to Fantasy League, says Adrian. Thank you. Verlin says, why can't anyone see Hill playing number ones during the season? Why they can't see it? Swade, answer that question. Verlin says, why can't anyone see Taysom Hill playing the ones during the season, playing with the ones? Why so much of a backlash for Taysom Hill?
But I mean, you have Drew Brees playing the number one, and still, even with that, you'll have Taysom coming in every now and then, and Drew Brees running the receiver spot.
But I'm saying, why? His question is, why more people don't see that?
Why don't they see it?
Why don't they see Taysom Hill's potential?
I don't understand. I think they see him. They see him as this just a guy that can run, I guess. You know, a lot of receivers that have speed and can take out running, they really don't respect as a quarterback. I guess some fans don't. But I have seen, and I'm pretty sure my man has seen this guy throw accurate passes. He's a threat. He's a threat with him in the pocket. Do you have to worry about him? You definitely have to worry about him taking off, and at the same time worry about his accuracy. That's very difficult.
Oh man,
very difficult. You remember this dude? What his name? Michael Vick. You remember something like that?
I remember Michael Vick, but that's a big leap to say Taysom Hill and Michael Vick is on the same.
He's better than Michael Vick.
He's a better quarterback and player than Michael Vick. I disagree wholeheartedly with that
better
one.
Than Michael Vick.
Taysom Hill is a good quarterback and a gadget guy, but he's not respected.
All right, I'm sorry.
What is that?
I don't know, brother. I just like this little song. It's my little song. It's the Saints, you bitch. It's the Saints. Oh, I'm sorry.
But this the thing about the Taysom Hill question is that we talking about.
Right.
And Verlin asked it, and then Shannon says because he sucks plain and simple.
Who?
Shannon laid it out on the line.
Who sucked?
Taysom Hill.
I swear you funny as hell, bro.
School. But see, this is the thing, though. You're saying that Teal says, I'm putting my draft board together for the draft. He coming for you. He want to win that 150. And then you got Mike Law. Who that Mike Law? He says, Sean sees a Zigbo got, Sean says a Zigbo got cut because he fumbled. Shaking my head. I don't know if that's the reason why he cut. It could be a move for McCoy. We won't truly know this until, when things happen. In my opinion, just because he fumbled don't mean he should have got cut. That was one fumble. But he did everything else. He caught. He had a touchdown. He played.
You don't see it. It's more.
It might be more to it. But based on the stuff on the field, I don't know what's going on in behind the doors. It's not my business. But what's on the field is what I pay attention to. And what I see on the field is Devontae Zigbo outperform people like Dwayne Washington. He put on a better camp than Dwayne Washington, in my opinion. But yet
Dwayne Washington was hurt.
But Dwayne Washington makes the team, though. He makes the team. Is what I'm saying.
He was so improved last year with that 100-yard game against the Carolina Panthers. He did that in the regular season. All right? So you can't just say, you know what, you got hurt, we're going to get rid of you. No, Zigbo, you was good, but this dude showed his ass regular season last year. And you ain't going to let him, we can't get rid of him because of an injury. You can't do that.
No, you can't. Till the legend say he's more physical than Michael Vick. That's definitely the case. Sean said y'all clowning over there. Robert Taysom Hill still a work in progress at QB. That's fair. Very fair.
And he's still a work in progress. Exactly. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Paul says, why don't the Saints swap Cameron Jordan on ends? He would get more sacks if he could be moved around. I think that's a good idea. I often said that they should kind of move him around like they do. You know who they do that with? Who gets sacks? They do that with J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt will be on this side. Then right before the play snap, he switches with the other end and moves to the weaker end, and that's how he's accumulating those sacks. Mm-hmm. So that's a good point. Cameron lines up on one side. He battles that guy the whole damn game. Mm-hmm. or double pick, sometimes 3 blockers he had to take on. But if you watch how J.J. Watt is moved around, his sacks are accumulated because they're able to move him throughout the line, and you move from the best end, which is protecting the quarterback's blind side, to the opposite end, the second best end, and that's how he was able to get a lot of work. He moves around a lot on that line, and he accumulates sacks. Maybe they can mimic that a bit. And that's a good point, Paul. Thank you for that, man. That's a good point. Tyrone says Hill short ball sucks. He got to work on that, Tyrone. That's one of the things I kept saying is Taysom Hill, with accuracy, what does he look like? What does Taysom Hill? Only thing he's missing is his accuracy, and he needs to do his progressions better. Once he gets that together, what does Taysom Hill look like to you with accuracy and going through his progressions? What is he to you? People can't answer that question because they stuck on him in the now. Mm-hmm. But what does Taysom Hill look like with accuracy and progressions?
I think he has decent, if not above average accuracy.
But I'm saying the question is, what does he look like with accuracy?
To me, I just told you.
No.
Accurate.
You saying that he has to work on it. I'm saying
he has it. He only gets better.
I mean, what does he look like? Who can you
look
make
like Taysom Hill?
No, I'm saying in comparison. Could you compare him to somebody? Yeah, with accuracy, who does he mimic?
A lot of people want to say Steve Young. No. You can't even say Randall Cunningham. No.
So he's his own guy.
He's his own animal. This guy's an animal, man. I don't know how y'all don't see this. Sean Payton see it. He's still him every day.
Jason says Taysom is a beast, and then the pre-prison, he's better than the pre-prison Vic. After prison, Vic was a beast. Okay. So that's
pre-prison. Hold on.
That's
what would make sense with that is that Michael Vick matured as an NFL player. Taysom has a long way to go to mature, and he's a beast now. Think about it, Brian. He's behind Drew Brees. No one understands that. Hold on. He could throw the ball way over there. Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Taysom is a beast, man. So that's all,
Oh, man. Let's see. Sean says, I thought he was going to make it, though. Sean, I would have sworn they was going to keep 4 backs, no lie. Roscoe says, hoping you talking Josh Hill, Tyrone. Renault, who that Renault? He in the building? It's probably because Dwayne Washington is better on special teams. Scoop said he could be better than Vic with some work. Sean says, yeah, Renault. Peyton values that. Mike says, who that from VA? Who that to you, Mike? Welcome to the live stream, buddy. Sean says, who that? Paul says, Hill is old JP Lawson.
Ooh, Tulane, baby. Tulane. JP Lawson, baby. That's a compliment. JP.
Is it? Is it really? I don't know. That's debatable.
JP Lawson, baby.
Oh man, Till the legend. I love how he's standing in the pocket and going through his progressions. He gets more accurate and developed touch. He will be unstoppable. Thank you, that Till. Roscoe's laughing.
And don't forget, you have to pay him next year.
They're gonna pay him. I don't think he's gonna break the bank now. He ain't gonna break the bank. Come on. Scoop says Philadelphia version of Mike Vick was a toss-up. Let Deshaun run under it. Not much skill involved in that. Willie says Taysom is an animal. Okay, thank you there, Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
Jay Giggity.
Yeah, Willie.
Jay Giggity. What's up, baby? Taysom is the white Kaepernick Russell. Who that to you there, Jay? And Scoob says, what happened here? Okay. Scoob says, damn, Jay, not even close. Okay, so the family chiming in, and Sean said, that's funny, Jay. But, we got a lot of stuff, man. We're talking about a lot's going on today, family, to be quite honest with you. A lot going on.
A lot of cuts being made.
A lot of cuts today, man.
This is supposed to be the 53-man roster. We just found out there's 4 positions left. A lot of surprising cuts. People we never thought would be cut. Ozigbo, especially Emmanuel Butler for me. Does Sean Payton have something up his sleeve? I'm pretty sure he does. This whole organization is a smart organization, high-class organization, so they just don't do stupid things. We may not understand it, but sometimes it'll come to the forefront. And the picture will be clearer.
Very interesting, family. Everything is ended up. One more time, we'll go over the list of cuts for the family members just joining us. If you hadn't heard, I know Sean came on recently. Chris Banjo, Ziggy Hood, Dan Arnold, T.J. Green, Marcus Henry, Alize Mack, Emmanuel Butler, LaJordan Humphreys, Michael Burton, Michael Ola, Sylvester Williams, Porter Galston, Derek Kelly II, Divine Ezigbo, and Terrell Williams all cut today. And additional people added to the IR: defensive back Marcus Shrells, guard Marshall Newhouse, and center guard Cameron Time were all placed on the injured list. So there you go, family. That's some of the stuff right here to complement some of the things that were done last Friday. So a lot to, I mean, man, wow, today, Swede.
Wow, man.
Man, it's a lot of stuff going on today, man. We just happen to be here.
Just have to be here to catch it all, give you the updated news, man. Let y'all know what's going on. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to the coma, man. That's
right, family. Appreciate all y'all for joining us on the live stream today. And as always, thank y'all for joining us on the Sports Coma. I'd like to thank everybody, man. Everybody on the live stream today, very vibrant and live stream today. I thank Swede for coming in the studio and
it's always a pleasure to come kick it with you and the fam.
And come and join us, the family. Also, before we turn you loose, family, I want to get everybody to hit the like button. Hit that like button, family. It helps more great people come over to the content. Hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't subscribed to the Sports Coma. If you enjoy the content, podcast damn near every day. Majority of the day, and live streams every weekend, every Saturday at 12. They're gonna when the regular season shifts and starts, it might move. It'll move when the Saints do Sunday games. We'll do live stream games. It'll probably move to Sunday, but we'll let you know about the programming times if anything change. Of course, I would like I said, I'd like to take this time to thank all of the family members who joined the Sports Coma Fantasy League. Thank you guys. Join the Fantasy League tomorrow at 12. The Fantasy League will draft. We got a few Saints family in there saying that they're getting their draft list lined up. So it's going to be awesome, man, to do it. A 20 team,
that's rough.
20 team is going to be, it's going to be fun, but it's going to be a rough one. 20 teams. I never did it. We never played in 20 team. It's going to be fire. But thank you, family, for joining us. Also, I want to make the family move before they cut and run. Is that, what else I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, the merch. We got new shirts coming out tomorrow. We have Monday. We have a new shirt dropping. Actually, probably be tonight, later on tonight, but definitely before tomorrow. The new black and gold royalty shirt will be out. Sports Coma family. Another shirt added to the mixture of other shirts that we have. Check it out at the merch store at Teespring. The Sports Coma. The link is in the chat. If you have to scroll, you might have to scroll a little bit to get it. But the link to Teespring Sports Coma, it'll be in the chat. And once the video go find it, you can easily find the merch store at the bottom in the description section. So please check that out with the merch. And that's a way to help the show go a distance, family. We done come a long way, haven't we, family? We come a long way from issues with mics and everything and equipment and still be able to get out the show. And that's because of all of the great contributions from people like Sean C. and all the rest of the tremendous and great and beautiful Sports Coma family members. And we like to thank all you terrific, beautiful, lovely, dedicated, faithful, loyal Saints, black and gold people for everything that you do to help the platform grow. And I continue and the rest of our team will continue to provide the best coverage that we can and to be there for our Saints family. And no matter what cost, we're going to be there to share this platform with the family members and bring all you great people together in great black and gold discussion. Also, a little note for the family dealing with the fact that but another great comment to make to the other families that coming out next week, family, for those who missed the Sports Coma Fantasy League, fear not. Don't be down, because guess what? We got a giveaway coming up. It'll be announced on Labor Day. The Sports Coma and PRO Media Network console giveaway. We'll give you all the information. Once a month from September to December, we'll be giving away consoles. And them things not cheap, y'all. We'll be giving them away, and we also be giving away Madden games as well, separate from the console. So if you're interested in that, we'll have some information on that on Monday, and you can check that out.
Wait,
Also,
you really ain't gonna give me no console.
I can't give it. I got to give it to the family. But I got it's for the family. I can't give you none of them consoles back there. But but anyway, that as well. And also for Labor Day, family, I want to make sure I give you guys an opportunity to get the merch and get a deal on the merchandise at the PRO Pro Shop on Teespring with the code Labor Day 20. You will get 20% off on any purchase at the Teespring store, where you can get the Dad Slap shirt, the Chump Missioner shirt in black or white. And remember, most of these shirts come in different colors. You know, it's not just white and black. Some of them in red, some of them in green and blue and black. They're really beautiful, nice shirts. Also, towels and blankets, sheets, all kind of stuff, mentionables. All that great stuff is over. The leggings for if you ladies like to do yoga or whatever, and you like the leggings to relax when you're around the house. We got all the leggings with the Sports Coma logos and all that stuff. All that beautiful stuff is available at the Teespring store as well. So the link will be in the description there. You can check it out, and also visit bukunola.com for all the latest, in the old schools. Which is the throwback
novelty shirts, man. Vernacular, New Orleans vernacular shirts, bro. And a Saints LSU gift. So holla.
All that available at Bukunola as well. And y'all check out the Teespring as well. So from me, I'd like to thank all the great family members, too numerous to name. But I'd like to thank everybody for joining us in today's live stream. I hope we brought a little sunshine to your day and entertain you today. So thank the family for joining us today on the show. And from me and Swade here at the Sports Coma, thank y'all for joining us. Peace.